What's up, chat? What is up, chat? How we doing? Gang, I don't know about you, but I just had a great weekend of hoops. And I'm just happy. I'm just happy about it. Great weekend of hoops. Man, just a little disclaimer today. We will be talking about both events. We're going to start with Freesmoke. We'll talk about the scene. We're going to talk about both events in their entirety. So if you don't want to be spoiled, which I don't know how you can avoid being spoiled with seeing how much social media posts there are. If you don't want to get spoiled, get out of here. But we're going to do a rundown of both events today. But I just want to say, this is kind of what I envisioned the one-on-one YouTube scene being at some point. I didn't realize it was going to move this fast, but I hope you guys are appreciating it as fans too. You know, I obviously do most of my work with OTD and Ball is Life, but to be able to sit at home on a Saturday and watch an entire TNC event and a Freesmoke, like they partnered with Freesmoke, I just get to sit and watch. I don't have to worry about setting anything up. I don't have to do nothing. I get to just watch. That was great. And same thing for the scene. I didn't have to do anything. I just sat at home in my chair, got to watch a lot of really good basketball, and also watching both events trying their own thing, having their own identity. And it's one of those things of like, I get to see like what if scenarios. What if TNC did like a city event style thing against Freesmoke? Oh, okay, we saw that. What if there was a lot of NBA fringe guys, you know, NBA just out of the NBA playing against a lot of the 1v1 YouTube? We got to see that. What would it look like, two NBA 7-footers on the court playing one-on-one? So again, shout out Pep, shout out TNC, shout out Terry Hosley and Freesmoke. Great weekend of hoops. And this is what I envisioned. This is exactly what I envisioned happening. Every other weekend or so, we should be getting an event. Again, we'll talk about the pricing and quality, all that other stuff. We'll get into the nuance and the context later. But overall, big picture, if you are a basketball fan, you're eating good. WNBA preseason just started up. It's right now the NBA playoffs first round. We're watching all the overseas leagues are in their playoffs at the moment. Or about to be in their playoffs, but we're getting all of this, all the 1v1 platforms are starting to figure it out a little bit, like the quality is getting better, the talent's getting better. There's just infinite basketball to watch. So I think as a fan, I saw so many people hate watching both of these platforms to where they're just complaining about every little thing. And I'm like, just watch something else. There's so much more basketball. You'd be watching the playoffs. You'd be watching the WNBA. Go watch a high school game. You could just go coach AAU. You could go do something else. Okay. This is for me. This is for the real basketball fans that just want to sit on their couch and eat donuts and watch people embarrass each other on the court. What up, gang? Yoru, MV3. We can debate the moon is top 3 right now in the space. We have a lot of conversations to cover today. We have a lot to cover today. That may be one of them. Anyway, I can still watch the scene games. No, I'm pretty sure like right after it finished, I think it was set to go private afterwards. So I'm assuming what Pep, and maybe he didn't even mean to do this. Again, this is something I only noticed because I do YouTube every freaking day. Sometimes I'll upload a video and it will either be set to not make money, like monetized. So I just did a free video and don't make any money accidentally. Sometimes you can set it to members only. You can set it to members only to private, so it's members only, and then whenever it goes off, it just goes to private, so you have to watch it live. You can't go back and watch it. So there's a lot that he may have done wrong or might have done it on purpose so that then he can upload the recordings of those games. Moon not over Scoob. We back. What up, Trenton? Sammy in here. Dre, of course. Robin. Keon will play outside, and Rob said to Pep he want to play Simmons. I think Simmons already got like 2 or 3 matchups now lined up. What up, Melman? How we doing? Mizzy? You watch more than NBA? You wanted Scoob to win? What up, Ghost? How we doing? Lakers in 5? Man, it's crazy. I didn't even care about that first playoff series, the Houston Rockets versus the Lakers, and now I'm just like, you know what? Good for you, LeBron. Good for you. Love watching basketball all 2026. Coach, if I invite you to my 3x3 tournament, would you show up? Where is it? I mean, it depends where it's at. I'm not going to fly across the globe. What's your favorite type of donut? I can't say it on stream because you guys are going to be like, yo, hey, that's crazy, coach. That's crazy. That's crazy, yo. So just use your imagination. Powdered Donuts Elite? What are you, 12? Scoob lost to Nas and a current NBA player. Moon beat people he's supposed to be. Ain't no discussion. I think it's a discussion for sure. I think it's a discussion, and we will have that discussion, by the way. The full speed right equivalent of a donut. April is a great month for the 1v1. Exactly. And if you guys saw the OTD post, The OTD flyer that just dropped. It looks like the future of the 1v1 space isn't in such peril, like everybody was saying, right? Just listen to Coach. All right, all these other people trying to freak out and think that the sky is falling. Listen to Coach. He knows what he's talking about. Things are okay. Cinnamon donuts, this and blueberry. Get fruit out of my savory snacks. I don't want fruit in a donut. Pep was really cool. Kept walking around the event before. Yeah, Pep knows, man. Pep's the GOAT. I don't care what anyone says. From Rob, Moon, and Scoob, change a lot for you in the context of the top 5. My top 5 has changed. It has changed. Maybe not a lot, but it has changed. I like Pep, man. Is it crazy to say that Pep losing 30-0 made him more popular? It is. I mean, Pep's just a character. He is just an entertaining human. And I say this all the time to people. Don't be boring. As a human, don't be boring. Don't be obvious. So if you're the type of person, and this is no shade to anyone in chat if this is you, but maybe this is your wake-up call to be like, you know what? Coach is right. Don't be obvious. Don't be boring. So don't be a person that's like, you're supposed to go to work 9 to 5. You come home from work and you're supposed to cook dinner, and then you do the dishes, and then you sit back and watch Family Guy for an hour and a half, and then you go to sleep, and then you wake up and you do the same thing again. Be someone who's like, I wonder if I could build a rocket tomorrow and try and get to the moon. And you try to build a rocket on a weekend and it doesn't go anywhere, and you're like, that was stupid. I'd rather you be that guy. Rather you be that guy than someone who's boring and criticizing other people for trying stuff, right? Pep tries shit. He just does things. And it's like, you know what? I respect that. People that try to find success, people that are trying to do things they like, people that are trying new things, I got an ultimate respect for that. Even if you don't succeed, just try shit, right? Just try things. And there's nothing wrong with being boring. I'm just saying, don't be boring and then be criticizing other people that are trying shit. That's where I was trying to go. It's in Texas. That's a long ways away. That's a long ways away. TNC even got you more excited than the Cavs, right? Exactly. Something with Cream, definitely. MV3 might be onto something. We support you. When do they start dropping the matchups for the OTD card? Impy, if I know anything about Davo, it's that these will be announced between now and 2035. So hold on tight. Nas should have played Jonathan. Would have been fun. Yeah, but I mean, I thought Scoob played pretty well. He actually had an opportunity to win. Matchups on Scoob was a bit unfair. Not unfair. It's basketball. They're not going to war. It's not UFC. It's just a basketball game. Scoob don't care. Scoob doesn't care, so why should I care? It's a basketball game. I would have played it. Like, you get an opportunity to play someone like Jonathan Simmons, you play it. Of the other 4 people that ducked, that's what we should be talking about. Any game that happens on the OTD poster or pay-per-view worthy game. Nas versus Archie, who you got? We're going to talk about all these things today. Scoob's full speed change of direction. Had Nas spun. He had opportunities. Like I said, we'll talk about that game, especially. That was one of my favorite games. Top 5 will change after May 30th. Absolutely. I'll leave my dishes in the sink for days. A belt chain out of can tabs. What up, Ram? TNC players are active. They getting there. Hey, everybody's stepping outside this summer, it looks like. Pep top 5 in the space. Forget his basketball game, putting cards together. Man, Pep is just so good for the scene. No pun intended. All the haters that are munching on their hot chips, typing on their Cheeto dust keyboards. Have you been watching the playoffs? Very little. I typically don't really get into the NBA playoffs for the last 8 years until the second round. I'll watch it when I can, but I don't move things around to watch. There's so much other good basketball right now. Oh, you went to the Scene event? Did you like it? It looked like it was a dope event to be a part of. Did you get Suni Lee's autograph? MPJ, yeah. 2035 is insane. Most luxury Greyhound bus you can imagine. That's like a 35-hour trip. Why not? You were sitting behind Ice Spice? Mm-hmm. Okay. Accidentally had to sit there, huh? Okay. I see what you... Can't kid a kidder, D-Ro. Big respect to Pep, but disrespect towards powdered donuts and blueberry donuts is crazy. Trenton, you're 13 mentions of fruit donuts away from getting blocked for good. NBA players like Simmons can still make a lot of mistakes and still win. Once you've seen him standing next to Scoob, that's, to me, I hate when people talk about resumes being levels, but when you see him stand next to him, you go, oh, that's what people mean by levels. I've been saying this for a while, right? Like, I'm 6'6" and weigh twice as much as some of these guys, and I was playing the same position. So then there's that equivalent of that for me to NBA guys. There's guys like 6 inches taller than me that weigh more than I do, bigger, stronger, faster, that play the same position as me. It just is what it is. Who were all the winners in Pep's event? Somebody will type it in chat, I'm sure. We're going to go over it soon. We'll go over it in like 5 minutes. We'll start. Instead of having Mikey Williams as a commentator, I think he should play. I think they're trying to set up him playing, but because he's in the transfer portal for college, there's a lot of red tape. Was it yellow tape? A lot of yellow tape they have to cross first. So if they can get it to work, I think they're trying to get Mikey Williams to play. But if not, worst case scenario, he's a commentator. I think Davo's trying not to overhype people just in case. 4 players that ducked. Yes, Sammy, drop the files. We need to see who ducked. What up, Kurt? Yeah, exactly that. 7th, exactly that. I have a picture with all the players on my IG. Send it through. Yeah, we'll talk about the commentators too, Flood. We'll talk about that. Pep event was dope. I agree, Elijah. Scar went insane. Man, what a day. Dang versus Moon. Very good game. NBA hype plus. Why was Ice Spice there? Michael Porter Jr. was there watching his brother. So I think he brought some gals with him. Moon had you scared, couldn't watch. Did you have money on the game? What up, G Money? Jordan Crawford. Randomly, did he say something about 1v1s? Moon took horrible shot. Moon takes horrible. That is the Moon formula. I'm getting tired of seeing that and him come out with wins. That's just what he does. Greg been losing. He's still tough. Yeah, Greg played well. I mean, Greg, I got to see him in person in Detroit playing against Keem. Where did it all go wrong? I mean, he has a lot of accolades that many other NBA players will never have. We'll see. I think he had an okay career. Inu, nice. Yeah, he's perfect for the 1v1 space. He's like flashy and just fun to watch. Unorthodox. Definitely he hasn't got the efficiency down for like winning at a high level, but he's fun to watch. I can't wait to watch more of him. Blue shirt and Scooby-Doo LaMelos. Well, they'll definitely be dropping those games soon, so we will rewatch. Keon in the portal too. I thought Keon already signed. Those aren't bad shots to Moon. Would you be able to pay the bills when you played in Australia if you didn't also have the coaching job role? Yeah, not my first 2 years. Not my first 2 years. But after that, and I played 7 more years after that. COVID ended it short, but yeah, for sure. I was making good money after my first 2 years. But my first 2 years, my house and car was paid for. Food, for the most part, was paid for. So any money I did get was extra. But what actually happened my second year was my first year, because I wasn't making money playing, I started doing coaching on the side, like individual coaching, group coaching, whatever, coaching some teams. And I was making, like, people, especially in Australia, especially in Melbourne, they'd pay me like $100 for like an hour. And I was like, wait, if I just do 10 hours of coaching a week, that's $1,000 a week. I was like, that's $52,000 a year just coaching. I was like, that's pretty good, working 10 hours a week. So I started taking my coaching more serious. And then I started running really big sessions where kids could pay $5, $10, and we do a shooting session. And it might be 40 kids show up, but I had it all planned out. I had the older kids help me out. Like, it was really cool. But I made good money. It was good for the kids. And I realized, like, damn, this is actually really fun, a really cool thing to do. So my second year, I started doing that, running a lot of camps, doing a lot more coaching. And then I started realizing, like, okay, after I get finished playing, I'm definitely going to coach. So whenever I got that opportunity to take that coaching job plus playing, I was like, it's an automatic yes. And I was paid pretty well for playing. and I was paid very well. I got paid more for coaching, but it was a job that most coaches don't get over there. So for me, I was able to I was able to shortcut my coaching like route because of that opportunity. So yeah, it was very good. That's actually what kept me from, so I got offered to play in China. I got offered to play Germany. I got offered to play quite a few places, and Denmark, I think, was another one. But then when I had that coaching job, I'm like, I mean, none of them are gonna have a coaching job for me. So that's when I kind of stopped my journey of trying to make the NBA. You know, now looking back on it, I'm like, probably the right choice. All right, I missed a lot of chat, but we won't go through every single one. I did what I could. But yeah, we're gonna start. Need your top 10 drills. Um, let's do that. Let's do that later in the week. I started realizing I get a lot of videos out now during the week. So Thursdays and Fridays, we can kind of change the tempo and we can do some different style drills. So maybe we'll do that later in the week. More MIDI the third. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Okay. So I want to go ahead and start talking about these two events that we had over the weekend. We're obviously going to start with the one that happened first, Freesmoke versus TNC, or powered. Freesmoke Tour powered by TNC. I have a lot of thoughts on this, and I please bear with me, because every time I do one of these event breakdowns or criticize and give my thoughts on either OTD or a different platform, I always get, the B word gets thrown around, the bias word gets thrown around. So I want to address that first. Everyone has bias, okay? But that's not a shortcut for just like, this person said something I disagree with, therefore they are biased. I always try to give reasoning, try to back up my thoughts. You see, I take notes on everything here. Like we've got notes, okay? We've got notes. So it's not like I'm just speaking from emotion. I do have my thoughts on my ideas on stuff as it's happening, but I do take notes. I go back and relook at them. So I try to take out as much human emotion as possible. So yes, everyone's biased, but if you think I'm biased, just point out something that you think I said was biased, and I'll contend with that argument. But other than that, please bear with me, listen to the whole thing, and then give me your thoughts. Because my whole goal, as I said on this channel, is pushing the 1v1 space forward, not to push an agenda on a specific platform. Okay, I could care less. But this event, I'm not gonna lie, I was really excited for, because we also had another event on this weekend. So the fact that there was two 1v1 events, and I knew I would just get to sit home and just watch basketball for, man, like 20 hours of basketball over this weekend was great. I do think I want to talk about the matchups and stuff, but I did take some notes here. I think as an overall event, the Freesmoke Tour crossover with TNC was good. And theoretically, and we'll speak about this the further we go, theoretically, or in a vacuum, on paper, this is a good event for both platforms, because TNC, this is what I meant. The bias is going to come out, or you guys, the B word is going to come out here, but they bought the Frigga facility, and the fear I had was that majority of their games and content would be done in the Frigga facility, and it would feel stale to viewers. And to me, that fear of that was kind of like, okay, it's starting to like, I think they've done 2 seasons there. And so for me, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel going forward. But if they can find a way to do these types of events quite often, where they're traveling, partnering with other platforms, that fixes that whole thing. That fixes that entire risk factor of getting too stale, right? So I think this could be very good for TNC for that reason. But then for Freesmoke, obviously, Terry's been around forever, 57 years old or something. He's been around forever. He's one of the pioneers in the space. And obviously, and again, this is no knock. Don't throw the B word around. Obviously, the production and the reach and the large platform, like, he just hasn't built that, but he's done more of the groundwork to get it to where it's at. Now someone can come in and help him with the production side. So I think it matched up really well, and it made sense. I thought there was good energy. Again, you never know how these events are going to go, but I knew, because it was in Baltimore. I kept saying this. I was like, I hope it's a little trenchy. I hope there's people walking on the court. I hope it's the crowd yelling and screaming. I, for one, like those environments. I prefer them. I know a lot of people watch the videos and don't like it as much, or they'll say like it was the security wasn't good. I've been a part of those events, right? Where they're like, security wasn't good because they didn't keep them on the floor. But I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like that is specific to certain cities you go to, and it's what people like to watch. I don't know. I think it's a good environment. I think there's a lot of players that like to play in it, and I know myself, I think that would be my favorite type of environment to play in. So I liked it. I liked that. I'm not going to be critical of security for people running on the court, because it's like, again, I've been there, but also I just like it. Especially it's street ball. It's one-on-one basketball. I don't want people sitting. I don't want people sitting on their phones in the crowd, everyone behind yellow tape all the time. I think there's a time and place for it, but for especially city events, I kind of like it. So I don't have any issues there. Again, I know some people couldn't wait to be like, look at all the people on the court, but it's like, no, it's just nothing happened, right? Nothing happened. It was a good event. One thing I do want to point out, there were no replays, okay? And that kind of, again, this is like a content creator thing, because whenever you guys might not even notice it. It might not even bother you. But because I've done now multiple events where we have had that production has been a thing that everyone's been yelling, right? Production isn't good. Production isn't good. Production isn't good. So then that's something that we've put a lot of effort into. I know Ball is Life, Davo have put in a ton of effort in their production. So then now I'm noticing things because I'm on the other side of it. Like, hold on, we have to do this. I got to make sure I'm doing this. So now I think I notice it with other platforms when they don't have something. And the reason I notice it is because I got a text message, and I was texting back, and then I hear everyone on this screen go, oh, and I'm like, wait, what? And I was like, oh, I'll wait for the replay. And it didn't happen. And I was like, wait, there haven't been replays the whole time. So I do think that's something that going forward, I don't think it's a knock on the event, but I do think it just clicked in my head that like, okay, if I'm noticing it now, people will start noticing it probably in a couple months' time. I think that's going to be a barrier of entry for these pay-per-view events now. I think people are going to start expecting, like starting on time is one, and they did that. I think that's expected now from TNC, Ball is Life, OTD. Started on time. I think replays are going to start being expected. I think face-off or other content in between, like commercial breaks, doesn't necessarily need to be commercials. Everyone can find their own thing they want to do, but having some content that's pre-recorded that you can play when there's a break. So I think there's some things that could be slightly done better, but overall, like I said, as long as nothing got in the way of the games and everything was clear and crisp and audio was great, like no complaints. This is like icing on the cake stuff, right? And where I see it going in a couple months. The other thing I noticed, and it's the exact same thing as this, is the foul bonus. We'll talk about the scene, but I think there has to start being a foul bonus from now on. Now that I've realized that you can just infinitely foul, so it just allows for some games to just get way out of hand or take way too long. And we'll talk about this first game in a second, but there has to be some sort of foul bonus to kind of keep the pace going. Doesn't need to be the same foul bonus as OTD has. I know a lot of people feel the type of way about getting the ball back, but there's got to be some punishment for just fouling over and over and over. I think that's going to be something that's got to be something that's implemented for the big three platforms when we do these types of pay-per-view events, because there should be a time window. You can't keep, like, if you've got a 8-hour window when this event is supposed to be done, you can't control a lot of it, right? But there's so much stuff you can control, and I think fouling is the one that has the potential to really blow out a game and make it take forever. I think that's something you got to kind of account for. You got to kind of control a little bit. But luckily, fingers crossed, like it doesn't go wrong. Why take that risk? I think just put something in for the bonus, and you can make it whatever rule you want, but there's got to be something there. Again, this is another knock that I'm going to get on this pay-per-view, but I do think this had a lot of 70-30 games. Even when me and Court were talking about this beforehand, we, for the most part, just picked the TNC guys to win. And I do think we got to try to avoid cards like that as much as possible. When you look at a card and you can pretty much tell, like, oh, this guy should win, this guy should win, this guy should win. When it looks like obvious win, I think we got to avoid those games as much as possible. You can't always avoid it, right? Sometimes you just got to play the game. You got to play whoever's there. But we should be trying to line up games that make sense for both players. That's going to be one of my biggest narrative kind of sticking points. If you learn something from me, I really want you to take away, like, the games should make sense for both players. If it doesn't make sense for both players, then those are the ones that have the opportunity to really make people disinterested, I think, in the games. So the game has to make sense for both players. So trying to get 50-50 matchups, 60-40, like something that's close, but 70-30 or worse, we got to stay away from those. And this card, I felt, had a lot of 70-30 games where it's like we know who's supposed to win. But overall, the card, if they continue to work with Freesmoke now, so if we start seeing better production from Freesmoke, if we start seeing a development pipeline of players through Freesmoke to TNC and back down, now if there's this like symbiotic relationship where they're all working together and they're both improving, I think this was a great event. I think this was a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, if that goes forward. But if this is just a TNC going and playing and putting the TNC players versus the Freesmoke players and then leaving, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Cause then it kind of just is really a city event, but done as a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? So I think if this does build up Freesmoke and TNC stays pulling them along as well, it'll benefit both parties. If that's the case, then I think it was great, because that means there's also longevity in that, and that can happen multiple times a year. You could also do that with a lot of other small platforms too. So if that's the direction of it, I really like it. If it's just a city event and then leave, iffy. But I mean, only time will tell, right? So I want to get into the games. Let's get into the games now. This 3v3, I don't have stats for, but one of the homies in Discord, one of my homies, and in chat as well, not currently, I don't think, but Geo Chris sent me the stats, did a full breakdown of all the stats for all the games over the weekend, and also says he has like bigger ideas that he wants to do with all that. So I'm excited to see what he's got in store, but we're going to use those stats today to talk about some of these games. But the 3-on-3, the first 3-on-3, Rob, Tay, Malik versus Bruce, Zeke, and Tev. It's exactly what I was saying before about the 70-30 game. You know, Rob, top 5, Tay, top 15, Malik, top 15. Three top 15 players versus Bruce, top 10, top 15, and then Zeke and Tev. Okay, no disrespect to Zeke and Tev. Okay, Zeke can hoop. We've seen him play a few games on the scene. He's obviously gets buckets. He's obviously good at basketball. I hadn't seen Tev, so I didn't know much about him. But this was just not a great matchup, especially because I don't think it made sense for both teams. Exactly what I was saying before. I think it made sense for Tay and Bruce. That makes sense, right? Don't make them play a one-on-one straight away, but you can build it up again. Their rematch again. You can build it up with, okay, make the captain Tay versus Bruce. And now both of them bring along two young guys so TNC had two new players here. And then Bruce, you got two newer guys here. Guys that have like 5 games or less, I think. Something like that. 3 games or less. And let's play a 3-on-3. That would make sense to me, because then you have Bruce and Tay being like the leader of their team, leading it, and whoever wins is kind of bragging rights, right? But this game, it's like they were never going to beat. I mean, Rob is like Rob is Mr. 3-on-3, right? Like that's his whole shtick. Rob is Mr. 3-on-3. And then you got Tay, who he thrives in these team environments as the glue guy, as the guy that will get the rebounds, get stops, get you extra possessions. He's going to score timely buckets when he needs to. But that's exactly Bruce. So I think Tay and Bruce made sense, but I just think Zeke versus Rob doesn't make sense. Tev versus Malik just doesn't make sense. So for those reasons, I'm out, dog. Now, for those reasons, I knew this game was just not going to be a good one. Again, we spoke about this before the event, and it ended up being 50-12. Yeah, it ended up being like 52-12 or something like that. They overkilled them. It wasn't a great game, but I think it's a good example of why we should try and make games that make sense for both parties. this win, I don't think did anything for these guys. Maybe Malik. Malik looked really good. Like Malik looked really good. So maybe it did something to remind you like, hey, I'm still here, guys. But anyone else, it just didn't move the needle at all. But we'll go into the next matchup. The identity of this next matchup, Ja Wick versus Rajon. We'll look here. The entire identity of this matchup is the foul bonus. We need a foul bonus. Now, I know these aren't TNC guys, so they're Baltimore guys, so they're playing with that Baltimore energy. Well, I don't know if they're both Baltimore, but I think they're Freesmoke guys. But foul bonus. We need a foul bonus for these types of games. Ja Wick had 19 fouls. Ja Wick had 19 fouls, and Rajon had 11 fouls. Right? So when I look at this and everyone's like, man, that game really dragged on. I don't know why. Well, it's because he had 19 fouls and he had 30 fouls in a game. 30 fouls. There's got to be a foul bonus for these types of games, the ones that just drag on. Yes, that means there's going to be a lot more free throws and people get the ball back and the game's going to be over quicker. I would rather it be over because someone fouled too much and someone kept getting free points rather than it drag on until like someone wins by default. All right. But Ja Wick, he had 24 points, or he scored 32 to Rajon's 24. You look at the field goal percentage, 13 for 40, 32%. That's probably just below average. That's probably around average for the 1v1 scene, 32%. But then you look at 6 for 30. Rajon went 6 for 30. He shot 20%. And again, that's not just because he's shooting bad. That's because you're getting fouled 19 times. Like, it's hard to get a rhythm. Okay. Fouling is too powerful if there's unlimited fouling. 4 for 20 3-pointers. Okay. 4 for 20 3-pointers, 4 for 8 for Rajon. But then you look at 8 for 11 free throws, 2 for 6. So look at these free throws. So out of the fouls that the referees are calling, so there's 19 fouls. Rajon shot 11 free throws. From those 19 fouls, he shot 11 free throws, and he only missed 3. He only missed 3, okay? He only got 8 points. He only missed 3. He shot 72%, which is about average. He got 8 points from getting fouled 19 times. But within that, he got 3 turnovers, right? So Ja Wick gets the ball 3 times, plus how many of those were fouls that didn't get called. Fouling is way too powerful. I hope that this kind of addresses and shows you guys why fouling is powerful and how you can win a game by just, and again, Ja Wick is cold. His game was smooth, but when things got tough, he could also just foul. He was more physically gifted than Rajon, better shape. And I think he deserved to win too. Don't get me wrong. I think Ja Wick deserved to win, but this should not be a way that this should not be a thought process in people's heads. Like, oh, just keep fouling and this guy can't do anything about it. Right. So I think I don't want to put a stain on this game. I just use this game as the example of like infinite fouls it just can't be allowed, because it will allow people to be like, well, shoot, I'm not hitting my shots today. I better keep fouling him and making it tough, which Rajon should have done the same thing to Ja Wick, but we don't want to see those games. And we've seen 2 dogs that are willing to do that to win a game. We've already seen that movie before, right? It's Bruce versus Keem. So that's what I thought about that game. Again, 2 very talented players. I actually enjoyed watching it. It was just very long for the reasons I've already stated. So good win by Ja Wick. The next game, that was Day Day Nico, right? Yeah, so those are in order. Okay, so we'll look at Day Day Nico. Again, this was a 70-30 matchup, right? And when oddly enough, Day Day fouled 0 times. Okay, there's another game later. We'll talk about this. But it's because it was 30-5. And crazily enough, I think Day Day could have beat him 30-0. He could have skunked him. And this is no disrespect to Nico, but this was just not a fair matchup. This was not a. Imagine you step onto the scene, and it's like, you know what? Day Day is going to be your first game. It's like, oh, wait, what? What are we doing? Day Day is like, he's a gatekeeper for a reason. He's a gatekeeper to that top 10, 15 range for a reason. If you can't beat Day Day, you don't deserve to be in that top 15. But also, it's because he's really freaking good. So I think this is just, again, he shot 46%, 12 for 26. He went 5 for 10 from three, but again, uncontested for the most part. And Nico was just not ready. He went 2 for 15. 2 for 15. It was just not a good matchup. Wasn't prepared. And when he lost and he was walking off and they followed him down the hallway, I was like, damn, this is bad. This is bad. But yeah, that game, not a lot to say there, but shout out to Day Day. I will say this, finishing your food, doing what you're supposed to do. I do wish it would have been 30-2. I do wish it would have been 30-0, something like that, make more of a statement. But Day Day did what he was supposed to do, and I like that he did that. Didn't play with his food too much. Good win for Day Day. Not a great showing for Freesmoke. And again, this is no disrespect to the players. Like I said, I don't think some of these matchups were. I don't think they were very well set. Then we go to Cam versus Pert. Again, another. This wasn't the next game actually. Let's go to what the next game was. That was Moon. Yeah, the next game was Moon Inu. Let's go to that game first, just to follow in order. Moon versus Eno was surprisingly one of my favorite games over the weekend. I think Inu, and again, part of it's because of Moon. Moon's not scared to take matchups that are like 50-50s or wild cards. Inu was definitely a wild card. He was probably the person on this entire pay-per-view that was like, damn, this guy might come in and get a win. Right? Obviously, we know Greg. But more so, Inu was like, man, he really might be way better or he might not be that good. We don't know. Moon's just like, check up. But Inu was really fun to watch. Like I said earlier, he could be far more efficient. He could be far more efficient and do more to give himself opportunities to win games, especially at a higher level. But he played really well. He was really exciting to watch too. And I do think there is space for that in the one-on-one scene. Like, not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily always have to be full speed right, full speed left, super efficient. Guy just gets downhill and tries to score. I think there is room for a little shake and bake, if you will, little wiggle in his step. I think there's space for that. So he was really fun to watch. Unfortunately, 2 for 10 from three. Moon didn't do much better. 3 for 13 from three. But Moon was 11 for 27 overall, so 40%. And Inu was 9 for 24, 37. Moon was 40%. Inu was 37%. Then free throws was the real deciding factor here. Again, 5 for 5 for Moon. So those are 5 extra possessions he gets back, plus those 5 points. Landis, thank you for becoming a member. Really appreciate that. But then you look at free throws for Inu, 3 for 7. So you missed 4 free throws, which, yeah, it's a 7-point game. You missed 4 free throws. That's also 4 possessions. That really was the game here. But again, he fouled more than double of what Inu did. 11 fouls to 5. That means both players aren't playing the same game, right? If you're fouling 11 times, because again, you probably get away with 4 or 5 that they don't call too. So if you're fouling more than double the other player, it's really tough to overcome that. So shout outs to Inu, man. Played really well, playing a top 5 guy as well. But great win for Moon. This was one of the most exciting games of the weekend, and I really enjoyed this one. Again, we're not going to take long on this next one. Cam versus Pert. Again, this was another 70-30 game. And when I say 70-30, I don't mean it was exactly 70-30, like Cam wins 7 out of 10 of these. I mean 70-30 at least. I think Cam beats Pert 10 out of 10 times. But this was another 70-30 game that just did not make sense. And like 3 for 23 versus 12 for 29. And the worst part is I thought Cam shot really bad. And was still 41%. He had a super off game and still shot just above average of what we see in the one-on-one. So I thought Cam played really bad and still won 31-8. Cam fouled 0 times. 0 to 6. So again, we're starting to see a trend, right? When someone's just way better, they won't foul at all. That means they didn't have to play any defense. You didn't get downhill. You didn't force them to guard you. Cam didn't foul at all. Day Day didn't foul at all. And they won both their games by like 20 plus. So again, another 70-30 game. For Cam though, and for Day Day, this is no dig at them. Like, you can only play who they put in front of you, and you need to go take care of business. Like I said, even this one, I wish Cam would have beat him 31-4. 31-3, but Cam and Day took care of business. They did what they were supposed to do. My critique, again, we'll talk about that towards the end. Then we get to what this should have been the main event, game of the night. Holy hell. Game of the night, Greg versus Kel. Now, this game, and if you heard me and Court talking about it, this game was I thought it was a 50-50 game, right? I didn't know how this game would go because Greg is bigger, pause, but Kel understands the TNC style more, and he would be able to play either style, trench vibes or TNC clean vibes. Kel can do either one. So we ended up saying Kel was probably going to win, but I just thought this could have gone to Greg. I've seen him play in person, and I've seen the players he's played against. He only takes top matchups. He don't play scrubs. So yes, his record doesn't look great, but it's like Nas, Scoob, Moon. He beat Bruce. He's just playing like top players, right? Keem. So I knew this game would be a good game. And the reason, again, it was a good game, it's a 50-50 game. It's a 50-50 game. If you make games that make sense for both players, they can be good games. This was the only real 50-50 game, I think, that was on the card. But it ended up being a great game. Look at this, 11 for 27 for Kel, 41%, 11 for 26 from Greg. He started off on fire and was hitting everything. Greg thought they were playing 3 dribbles until it was probably like 10 plays in. You see him talk to the ref. I think he looked at Meach and was like, is it 4 dribbles? He kept going 1, 2, one more dribble, and he would pick it up and then just jump, hit a crazy shot. But there was a couple times he had an extra dribble to get a layup and he forgot. But he looked at the ref and was like, is it 4 dribbles? So he thought he was playing 3 dribbles the whole time. So shout outs to Greg, man. That was a great game. And then look at the fouls. I was for sure at some point during this game, Kel was going to start hacking Greg or Greg was going to start hacking Kel. I thought one of them was going to start hacking just to, especially once it got down to the end, but they both played like honorable basketball. They played like just good basketball. So for me, this was just a great game, like 3 for 3 free throws, 2 for 3 free throws, 5 fouls each. This is like, if you could script a game, if you could script an entire event, if you ask Scotty, like, hey, what would you want every game to turn out like? He'd be like, this game right here, 30-27, 5 fouls to 5 fouls. The environment was insane. This is what I meant when I said, like, the crowd getting on the court and yelling and screaming. I think it added to the game. I think it added to the production. I think it just added to it. Now, there's a fine line, right? We never want to see it go overboard. And it's you kind of like, okay, anything can happen, but I think it added to it. I thought this game was great, and everyone was saying this is a top 10 game of all time. I don't think that, because I don't think it meant anything. Does that make sense? It's just bragging rights for Kel and Greg. I don't think it was a meaningful game, but entertainment wise and for the fans and being glued to your seat the whole time, this is exactly what the one-on-one scene is about. This game was great. And we'll get to the last game of the night. Unfortunately, there's no way around it. And I hate saying this because I understand Terry should be the main event of his event that he's putting on, right? But I really think that Greg and Kel game was the main event, and the crowd obviously felt that way too. But mainly for Terry, you're running an event, and then you've got to wait till the last game to play. I think like playing that game earlier on, we'll talk about this with another event later. Doing that game earlier on allows you to help build up the crowd and everything for the later game. So I think Terry and Boog probably should have played before Moon Inu and then Kel Greg. I think those two should have been the final games. Obviously hindsight is 2020, so it's easy for me to say that now. But I do think looking at the card, again, I was talking to Court about this, remember? And I was thinking the Terry game would be earlier, and then it would be Moon Inu and then Kel Greg. But again, not perfect, but not too disappointed with it either. But again, 37%, 39%. Boog played all right. I think he's got to figure out how to create separation against players that are willing to play physical and just get downhill for 30 points if you need to. He figured that out towards the end. But damn, 11 fouls to 3. That's why it was close right there. Boog wasn't willing to dominate physically, and I don't think he could dominate Terry physically, but just more so that's a play style that doesn't really favor Boog, and that's why I went down to the wire. Terry had opportunities to win, but it ended up going down to the wire, which is what we wanted to see at least. So overall, Overall, good game from Boog. I love watching Terry play. I don't know if that's a great matchup though, because he's not able to slide his feet as much. But for him to have opportunities to win, the whole gym would have just blew the ceiling off if he if he would have won. So he did have chances, could have ended another way. But the event ending with a sweep, the event ending with a sweep of TNC Freesmoke, a sweep of Freesmoke. I think that kind of, it doesn't tarnish the event, but it kind of ruins the allure of what I said earlier. If TNC is doing this to partner and collab with Freesmoke, and they're going to partner for the long term and build up players and help them develop production wise and blah, 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 then it's a good thing. And I guess you got to take your lumps if you're the smaller platform. But I think we got to get away from doing city events as a pay-per-view if you think you're going to sweep the card. Like, I just don't think this is a good, I'm trying to put myself in Terry's shoes and be like, damn, does this make me really excited to do another event with TNC right away? Or does this make me go, all right, let's back to the drawing board. Let's get some more players. Let's recruit better. Let's blah, blah, blah. Cause like, I would not want to put someone against Day Day, you know, their first real game, Moon, their first game, Kel, their first, like, these are just tough. These are like such tough matchups, this 3-on-3 up here, right? So 50-50 games, I think we need to put more of an emphasis on that, less 70-30. But overall, like I said, really good event. It started on time. The production was good. I do think like having the replays would have made it a lot smoother, like transitions between games and stuff like that. But like I said, for the growth of the space and longevity, if TNC keeps up with the smaller platforms and building them up and not just going there, beating their ass and getting out of there, I think it could be good. So yet to be seen. I'm interested in seeing who they'll partner up with next, but overall, good event. So let me know what you guys think. Michael Brown, what up? Not switch the crowd. Yeah, stop switching the crowd, guys. What'd you guys think of that event? We'll talk about the Scene League next. I just want to see y'all's thoughts on that. Kel a dog. Greg got game, and Kel pulled that game out. Kel, one of your favorites. Kel game is beautiful. Didn't watch much of Greg till this game. Yeah, he's got a couple games. He played Keem in Detroit, which was pretty good. Maybe he'll be on TNC next season. Inu will be fun to watch. Imagine Terry 10 years ago. That's what I'm saying. I've been saying that. He'd still be older than most of the guys in the scene. You think one matchup could have been TNC versus TNC? Who would you have liked to see, Jeff? Zeke played Scoob. Yeah, Zeke played Scoob. He played Dooley. He's played quite a few players. TNC had their Mount Rushmore. They're going to bring Inu and Greg back. Yeah, but Inu's already got like a social media following, and Greg is already like established in the scene, right? What I mean by developing players is like, if you just go to a platform and take their best players or take the ones that played really well, hopefully it's Baltimore guys that are going to come back to the like a Nesco Junes League is like the ideal situation, right? Moon and Z League. Zay could have been on this, I guess. Zay and Terry Hosley, like players that play on smaller platforms that then they go on to bigger platforms and do really well, right? And then it makes sense for the smaller platform because they're gonna be like, all right, we gotta get more guys through here, so they get on these bigger platforms. But like Greg's already played, he's already played all the heavy hitters. If Greg gets on the TNC and they give him a Rob or give him a Moon, they give him like the top matchups, then it makes sense. But if Greg is just going to go on TNC and then play like the other, like a Fombi, a Scar, guys that aren't really like in that top 5 on TNC, Day-Days, you know, if it's just going to be those types of games we've been seeing, I don't think it makes sense for Greg. Same with Inu. He's already played Moon. Like they shouldn't go back down and just be the middle of the pack again. What up, Vetrix? L2 R2 square. That was crazy. He gave the game away. Lacks the exciting factor. Day versus Cam. What up, Matt? How we doing? Cam versus Day for sure. Didn't see it, but by the numbers, I need better matchups from TNC, but I'm still excited to watch these games. Great event. On your point of matchups, doesn't TNC want to dominate and send the best? I think so. Yeah, for a city event, I would say that makes sense. I think for a pay-per-view, to me, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want you guys to always have the same opinion as me. I feel kind of something doesn't feel right or sit right with me of like, hey, we're going to come do a pay-per-view in your city and we're going to collab. We're going to use all of our best players, or we're going to, we'll use our best that we've got. And then you guys bring the best that you got. I don't think there's ever going to be a city event that would do well against OTD, Ball is Life, or TNC in that regard. I could be way in the wrong here. Greg loses to Fombi. I agree, but it's a game that's meaningless, right? It's not a meaningful game. It doesn't push the needle forward. Going back to the Day topic, I think the casual fans thinks Day's sweet. Everybody who been watching the space knew he was going to win, but good. And I do think players should play these types of games. Don't get me wrong. Day should play the Nikos. Day, everyone should. Scoob plays players like this. Moon plays players like everyone should play players that they're way better than. I just think for a pay-per-view event, it kind of feels like, I don't know about that. I was watching on my TV and hopped on my phone. This shout out to Kel. If it wasn't for him, most people would only know PA for Philly. Moon really found his shot. Yeah, he had a good weekend. I was at the scene event yesterday. All the players are genuinely cool people. I know every time when you go there, they're just more accessible than NBA players, right? Like they're real humans. Always be as much 50-50 as possible. Yeah, I think I learned that with Judgment Day especially. Kind of cemented that for me. And I'm like, damn, when the matchups could go either way, it ends up being, even like Malik beating Dom, he belted him 31-11, right? But then Scar belted Ryan 31-11. So it was like the two crossover games we had was kind of even, right? Like either one could go either way, and they ended up being belt for the opposite side. Toronto Proving Grounds would have been a cool live stream. I know, it definitely would have. This pay-per-view was more of a live event rather than a real pay-per-view. Okay. I get that. I get that. What's the difference? What's the difference between like live event and pay-per-view? Because to me, pay-per-view just means you're paying per viewership. I learned a lot from that Tricky interview. I'm kind of in the same boat, so it meant a lot to hear from similar. Oh, that's awesome to hear, 3-5. I think I saw your comment on YouTube earlier. Haven't responded to comments yet. May 30 gonna be amazing. Got to watch Moon versus Dang game. Man, yeah, Moon had a weekend. Every shot feels like it's going in. Scar versus Ryan gets overlooked. No, what I'm saying is, yes, Scar was going to beat Ryan if he was locked in. But also now looking back at it, Malik obviously was supposed to win against Dom, right? You look back at their resumes. Dom's resume seemed a lot stronger than what it was, but he was playing a lot of new players, mixtape kind of guys. So on that card, you had one OTD was going to beat TNC pretty bad, right? And then the very next game, it swapped. The TNC guy beat the OTD guy pretty bad. So then it was like, okay, those even out. But every other game on that card was like a 50-50 game. That's what I meant. I didn't mean every single game literally could go either way. What I'm saying is like they're evened out. They're evened out. It's not like it was all Ball is Life OTD best heavy hitters versus like TNC guys not having a chance. Should be elite and it can go either way. Yeah, speaking of tricky, I would say it's only not a pay-per-view if it's included in the TNC membership as a mini pay-per-view. Why y'all sleep on Scar? It's just because he's so volatile. He'll win games he's not supposed to and then lose games he's supposed to win. Saw Bijan at the event and he dapped me up after I called him Freaky B. That's his name. What are you talking about? Bijan's his nickname. Freaky B's his real name. What up, Wild Man? Scar was a bad matchup for Ryan? No, I don't think so. I think you guys are looking at like hindsight. Scar lost to Chuck. Scar lost to, there's a few games Scar lost like in a row that he shouldn't have lost. So everyone was like, damn, I guess Scar's not that good. Then he played Hezigod and like kind of beat him, like not bad. And it's like, man, we just don't know where to put Scar. Then he's like, boom, boom. Then he did like a couple belts in a row, and you're like, okay, yeah, we always knew Scar was this. And it's like, no, he's just got to find his like killer mentality. That's all it is. Suni Lee appearing in the 1v1 space. Yeah, Suni Lee and Ice Spice. Live stream and a pay-per-view is the same. I think so too. I think it's the same thing. Would you have preferred that some Freesmoke players faced each other? I think I would have. I think I would have. Or TNC players playing each other. Coach Midrange League, I'm going to start it. Go for it. Hagel, yeah, Hagel had an inflated resume. Do you think any of the platforms have better live events or more exciting events out of the top 3? Not yet. It's too hard to tell because I probably need a sample size of like, I would need a sample size of like six live events for all the platforms, and then we compare them. That's the only way. I wouldn't do it off of just one. I wouldn't do it off one event. There's too much recency kind of bias that goes into it. Why Bruce on the other side of every crossover event? Because he's willing to play those games. What's Rob's current injury? Light-skinnedness? I don't know. Watching Bijan shoot from Yucatan in person is insane. Pep dropped the bag for some. He did. We're about to get onto that one next. Everyone watching knows generally what to expect. On real pay-per-view cards, everyone watching knows generally what to expect. Whereas for the live events, when you bring out locals, nobody outside our area really in tune with some of them. I disagree. I disagree with that. I think with the pay-per-view card, I think for a pay-per-view card, nobody. I don't agree with that. G20. I'm not saying you're wrong. I think we're so comfortable to put a distinction on pay-per-view or a live event. To me, like, I just throw them all in the same bucket, right? Like the BRP event to me is like a pay-per-view. Judgment Day pay-per-view. Like I think whenever you put on these large scale events, I think it's just a pay-per-view, right? Just keeps it easier. Couldn't get a picture. Scar potential top 5-10 needs to be consistent. Cheese tapping in chat. Davo live streamed Dallas. If Davo live streamed Dallas, if he live streamed Dallas as like a card like this, I think it'd be a pay-per-view, right? I think I would call it a pay-per-view. Think the audience views them different? Well, that's why I'm asking. What is the difference? I like to get to the bottom of these types of, because people will throw things out and I hear them as arguments all the time. And then when I ask someone to clarify, they're like, oh, I don't know. I just call them the same thing. How inefficient these players can be when you watch the live events. The power of editing. Gerald Green match pissed you off? TNC 01, 2, 3, and 4 like pay-per-views because they mean more. Do they mean more? Does Rob's loss to DA mean more than Moon's win against Inu? Moon's win against Dang? I don't know. TNC's going to Austin. I saw that. Who would Zay have played if he was there? Shoot. I don't know. Don't forget the 1v1 to 100. Yeah, I got those on my to-do list, but we got the, I'm just seeing what Chad is thinking over my thoughts on the Freesmoke event, then we'll move on to the Pep League. If you were in your prime, what platform do you think would have scooped you up? Or it would have been one of the first 3 platform players? I probably would have preferred the reason I do more work with OTD. I prefer the like I said, I prefer the I like if TNC were doing like these types of events all the time, I'd probably do TNC or OTD. I like that environment. Like that environment that was on that I like that. I don't know. I prefer that. I just clarified. If you don't agree, that's fine. But if you understand, then what's more to say? G20. I know you clarified, but just because it makes sense to you, doesn't mean like gotcha. I'm trying to have a conversation and try to have a better description for this, because it's something I see in this is something that gets thrown around a lot in the one-on-one scene that I don't think we've, like, was Pep's event a pay-per-view? Because when we did our list, well, you keep putting laughing faces after every thing. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. $2. What happened with you and Nas in the live? Oh, nothing happened. I called him out. So when we did our pay-per-view events, remember when everyone was saying there's too many pay-per-views, it's getting oversaturated. So we tried to have a conversation on stream, and we listed all the pay-per-views, and there was only like 10. So I'm always trying to sift through like these narrative things that get thrown around. I try to sift through them and make better sense, because I think a lot of times we're fighting ghosts. So a lot of times people are mad at stuff and there's nothing to be mad at. And because whenever I grind it out in, okay, let's be descriptive. Let's figure it out. Let's put some descriptions towards things. Then we can all be on the same page and have better conversations. I think pay-per-view should include matchups people really want to see from the top guys. Then events like Freesmoke, TNC stuff should be just unpaid live streams, but they are paid though. They are paid. That's what I'm saying. Should I get him out of here, chat? Who? Nah, don't. We're good. Rob to play games, especially the ABC crew. Yeah, of course it was a pay-per-view. Maybe. When are we doing fan panel? Where's my mod in here? we need to. Wait, DJ Cool Kid, what's your name in Discord? Are you Cheese? This was a support to Freesmoke and what Terry built in terms of matchups. I would not normally purchase this. Got to be saluted. That is crazy. They were good opponents. UFC is every Saturday. He said only 10. I don't think 10 is too many, right? Would TNC Champions be a pay-per-view? That's what I'm asking. Because I think if you said TNC tag team event, that to me sounds like an event, right? That seems easy to delineate between something like this, where it's Kel versus Greg, Terry versus Boog, right? Moon versus Inu. What's the difference, I guess, between that and a pay-per-view card? Do you think the original Frig effect, because everyone was trying to say Frigmas was the original pay-per-views or should count as pay-per-views. Think the original Frigga family and TNC players ever come back? Like, maybe. I think the space has just moved on to where it's like more difficult. It'd be too difficult to leave for a long time and then come back. I understand what you're saying. If I'm paying for it, then it's a pay-per-view, simple, and you're full speed right. Except the glaring point is that these live streamed pay-per-views feel no. So G20, that's where we agree. I agree it feels different. I'm trying to understand why it feels different. And the reason I'm trying to is because when we're putting weight to games in like the rankings, for example, if we can actually be like, nope, a pay-per-view, this is the standard for a pay-per-view. If we can actually grind out like what is the standard for a pay-per-view? If it's just the platform saying, no, that's not a pay-per-view. That's not a pay-per-view. This one is a pay-per-view. Then it's like, okay, we're just going to, if the platform says it, then it is that, which I guess is also okay. Maybe live event is more focused on the product for the people are there, and pay-per-view are mainly for the people on stream. is a paid live event, and the Pep. So you would say Peps is a pay-per-view? TNC Champions was included with a membership, which would make it not a pay-per-view or less of a pay-per-view. Nas versus Archie. What do you think about the OTD dropping the previous series after the pay-per-views? I think that's something he's got to fix in the future, but I don't think it matters too much now. Golly, this guy. Just had to tell y'all that on this great Monday. Frigmas was free on YouTube. What? This is why I'm just trying to I'm trying to have the conversations, okay? Map, we're trying to fix the 1v1 community one discussion at a time. Pay-per-view games are promoted longer. Wait, like the TNC 04 pay-per-views are promoted for a long time? Is that what you mean? This type of event feels more like a UFC fight night where there are no big fights like champion versus champion. And like UFC more. What? Champion versus champion. Well, again, Rob versus DA. Is that a champion versus champion? Only the prize pool pay-per-view stand for it. That's what I'm saying, Music Boy. Can't go wrong with the quesadillas. Don't players have pay-per-view records? They do, but that's also why I'm trying to. Right now, it's just thrown around. Every live event is a pay-per-view at the moment. So I'm trying to figure out why it's different. Why does it matter if it's a pay-per-view or live stream at the end of the day? I just said because the rankings, pay-per-views are worth more for wins. But if we just call every live event a pay-per-view, then it kind of skews it. Pep's event was definitely a pay-per-view. Don't necessarily think all pay-per-views are equal, though. Why it feels different is because I know. Am I frozen? Am I frozen? Why it feels different is because I know what to expect from both parties for our pay-per-views. It's like the exact reason we don't want to see our top fives v pros on a pay-per-view. But I mean, look at Undisputed was pretty much 1v1 guys versus pros, right? Like, is Undisputed a pay-per-view? Nas versus Briscoe, LP versus JQ, Dom versus Akil Carr. Is that a pay-per-view? It was just Scoob versus Nitty was like the only, and Nitty's only got 5 games or something. All right, geez, I got you. I can't add it. The YouTube chat is down right now, so I can't add it now. But I'll do it. I'll do it after stream or if I get a break. I'd say Pep was a pay-per-view because of the weight of the games and how much it means to the community. So JP was on a pay-per-view. JP and Mia, is that a pay-per-view game? The guy might be right. Pay-per-views are promoted longer and the main events are usually long-awaited matchups. DA beat Rob. That's a big matchup. Was a prime example of a pay-per-view. No, they were saying YouTube versus. The only reason I brought that up is because they were saying YouTube guys versus pros. Storylines matter too. Sometimes storylines can overwrite merit or rankings. Most of the platforms treat pay-per-views the same. They happen for a longer period. Yeah, TNC 04. Didn't that just get announced like a couple weeks ago? This Freesmoke event was promoted longer than TNC 04 will be. Lance. Pay-per-view shouldn't even be worth more, in my opinion, if it's a game to 30. Maybe, honestly, that might be the best take here. That might be the best take here, to be honest. Now that pay-per-views are becoming oversaturated, I actually haven't heard that yet, and I haven't even thought about that yet. Let me think about it. I think you might be right. Hold on. LOL, 1-1, and Squadulent. You guys might be right. Maybe pay-per-view wins should not count for more. Maybe now that there's so many events and pay-per-views, maybe a game is just a game. You get your pay is probably bigger, right? And it's bigger, you get more eyes on you and more exposure. And it's probably going to be a tougher opponent, but on the records, it should probably just be a normal game. Have you always been good at articulating your points? I kind of struggle with that. Like I'll have a point, but it's hard to explain. Uh, I don't know. I think I've learned how to have conversations because I've traveled so much for one, but I've coached for a very long time. I deal with people a lot. And I think having a lot of conversations with a lot of different people helps you with that. Is Neon that's why is Neon on a pay-per-view? I see, but I look at it this way. If an NFL player plays a scrimmage, we can all tell the difference from that and a real game. So I get what's trying to be said. JP happened to be a good ass. That was a great game. If a game versus pros hold less weight, that I think those are kind of the conversations we're trying to get to right now. My rebuttal to that question, coach, is ask the chat what everyone's favorite game was on that undisputed card. So so is the criteria for a pay-per-view now what game was everyone's favorite? Because then we could do again, you could do that for other pay-per-views too. All I'm trying to get to. So again, I haven't even stated like what I think should happen. I just keep asking questions, right? I just keep asking questions more so to kind of do an internal critique of what a lot of people think pay-per-view means. And so me asking this question is showing, like, we even in the chat, we've got a lot of people that have different criteria for what they think a pay-per-view is. So just because you individually think you know what it is, there's 10 other people that have 10 other opinions of what a pay-per-view is. So all I'm saying is like, this is obviously a question that happens a lot in the pay-per-view space or in the one-on-one space. So because I see it all the time, I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. What really makes something a pay-per-view? And because we've been asking these questions and because we've had this conversation now, I actually am kind of agreeing with what some of you have said of like, maybe pay-per-views just shouldn't count for more. What up, Swift? How we doing? I agree, Dionysus. I agree. Yeah, reading is good. Getting into conversations and debates is good. Trying to understand the other person's point of view is also very important. Rather than speaking to win or speaking to get your point out all the time, you should sometimes have conversations and just listen to other people. I always hear you say to work on the moves and stuff that you do in a game. I usually catch and shoot, but I want to do more than that. Start building off of your catch and shoot. What up, Castro? Catch and shot fake and drive, catch jab and drive, all that stuff. Primarily be about ranking. Well, if not everything's a pay-per-view, Scoob's undefeated on pay-per-views for real. No Merc, no pay-per-view. Get him out of here. Data analysis stuff. I think the best thing for record is for all three. That maybe that's the only pay-per-views that should count when all three platforms finally come together and we really do a pay-per-view. Maybe that's what should happen, guys. Scuba Nitty was by a landslide the best game. Yeah, but Scuba Nitty was one of the best games ever. That I don't know if that should be the criteria for a pay-per-view game. The scene collectively values the in-house matchups way more than the pros. Yeah, but then we go back to Rob versus DA, right? Rob versus DA, Nas versus Briscoe, Nesco versus Ty Lawson. Like, are those not pay-per-view games now? Scoob versus Jonathan Simmons. Is it or is it not? I just think whatever argument you give me, I can give an argument against it on the other side. So I think what this shows me is, again, I'm now to the point where I don't think pay-per-views mean that much more. I think they'd mean more to the community, but I don't think they should hold more weight on a resume. Unless, like I said, if it's all three platforms coming together, maybe those are the only platforms or the only pay-per-views we can really count. No, we're probably not going to watch that today because we got to get through the pep scene. We've also got another video that I want to do right here in a second. Just yet needs more criteria. Yeah, I think we need more foundation for what pay-per-view actually means. Think it should be worth more A tier, but I've been debating on removing the S tier games. Like, I think an OTD free stream and then stream after should probably be an A tier. Yeah, I'm starting to, I think we've solved a little bit in the 1v1 scene today. Guys, thank you for the debate. What is actually a pay-per-view? Maybe so I'm going to do an actual video on this. I'll take some more notes and I'll do a proper thought out video on this. But I'm starting to think that maybe pay-per-views just aren't that important when it comes to waiting. Moon versus Mead, exactly. No, I probably won't get to Cam versus Boog today. Rob vs. DA was TNC 03. The best games on that card for most people was probably either Moon vs. Cam, C Forte, Reese Key, to be honest. That is where the collective opinion differs. Right. What I'm asking is, like, does the Rob DA game not count as a pay-per-view, or does it count because some of the other games count as a pay-per-view game? You know, that's what I'm trying to get. I guess that's what the crux of it. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Most of the players only playing on pay-per-view anyways. Should hold more weight because they're preparing for the opponent longer. Again, I think that's what's assumed, but I don't think that's true. Again, TNC, I keep going back to this. TNC 04 was just announced. It was just announced, and it's happening already in like 3 weeks. 2.5 weeks. That's not longer than this TNC Freesmoke. That's not longer than that. So that can't be the criteria. TNC 04, we are all going to agree, is probably means more than TNC versus Freesmoke, right? What up, Fox? What's the argument for why pay-per-views should count more in the first place anyways? No, that's I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I don't know. I've just kind of gone along with it. And then now that everyone's like, this is a pay-per-view. This one doesn't count as a pay-per-view. This one does. I'm like, you know what? Maybe we should have this conversation and try and. I'm stealing your video ideas. Swift, if anything, I'm giving you video ideas with AI hallucinated data. Updated Nas games on Swift Hoops is actually 49-3 on 33 game win streak. That's insane. They simply said we're going to charge everyone $25. Yeah, that's it. The companies, that's how they get us. That's how they get us fighting against each other. Got to go back to work. All right. Thanks for being here, Playhouse. Jerron Lewis. It all depends on the matchups. Who has Nas lost to besides Zay? Wasn't it Draco? I can't remember who else. Coach, for actually listening to our side. Of course, that's what I'm here for. I love having conversations. I love having debates. I love seeing what other people are thinking, because it helps me have better opinions too. The matchup should be good enough to be weighted more. Like you said, 50-50 matchups, not 70-30. Simple way to go about it. Not really any substance behind it. Nas has also lost it. Oh, that's who it was. Ty Glover, not Draco. My bad. There was only one game on that card that we didn't know what to expect from the other player. That's my point. Freesmoke was a whole card of people trying to get out of bubble. So is the criteria not knowing what to expect, or like 50-50 matchups? But the players had to know before? No. I don't know. Do I reckon games versus pros hold less weight? I think for now they do, Yoru, just because the word pro, we haven't even figured out what that means yet. Yeah. Actually, we should just take the Moon and Scoob approach. Checkup. Aren't OTD major pay-per-views months in advance? Yeah, typically. I mean, most pay-per-views for all the platforms are. Moon versus Lat was a bigger matchup. Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's exactly right. So should that game not count as much? It's just tough. Frigga. That's right. Wait, was that the Frigga game that counts? So it was Frigga. When the matchup makes sense. I mean, Frigga put on his story. He might be stepping back outside. Would you invite Scotty for an interview? Of course. Hey, everyone. I want to have conversations. I mean, I am going to have Court on here every week now, and he does primarily TNC stuff. I don't have any grudges against anyone, and I would prefer to have conversations. Pay-per-view should be players who are in the same power ranking range, at most 5 to 7 spots. Swift officially jumping on bombs in black. How would you do it if you were commissioner? That's probably a good conversation for another time. All games count. Every game we pay for is a pay-per-view. Yep, Darian Newsom, let's go with that. That's the easiest one. Checkup is right. Everyone should play more. I agree. All right. Here's what we're going to do today. Here's another. We'll do a little break. All right, we're going to do a little break in between that discussion we just had. Oh, shoot. Little discussion we just had. We're going to do a break. Okay. So, Swift Hoops. As you guys know, Swift Hoops that does the rankings that every single person in the 1v1 space is really happy about. No one has any issues with, and I've never seen one person complain about the rankings. Kind of off topic, but I'm doing the same kind of content as you, and I also game. Do you have any advice for me as I'm coming off my content creation journey? Yes, let's have a conversation about this, Landis, right after this video. Thank you for the $10. Remind me. Okay, let's have a conversation. Swift actually has added a top 10 plays of the week, April 19th to April 25th, 2026. So this is last week. Top 10 plays of the week. Guys, I think this is goated. I think this is great. And this is a step in the right direction again for the 1v1 scene. Go like, go subscribe. Oh, this is my other channel. I was like, I am 100% sure I'm subscribed to Swift Hoops. So let's switch over. Let's go to my burner account over here. Top 10 plays of the 1v1 scene for the week. Go like, go subscribe. Swift, 105 subscribers. We got to get that up. Let's have a look at this and see where I disagree.
Top 10 plays of the week.
Pastor pace. Oh, I didn't have to do the replay. You already got the replay. Yeah, this is dope. I like this. This is dope. Obviously, got to animate this, right? So will you animate the 9, like that part of it? Crazy. And I'm gonna get copyright claims by the music probably. Swift innovating. I like it. Freaky B.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we watched this one.
Oh my God.
Damn.
That's a tough bucket, B. Clip. I like what I see, man. It's a 1-point ball game right now. Bijan can win it with a bucket on his very next possession.
Oh, I forgot about this. I forgot about this play. Damn. Swift, you have no idea how happy this is making me right now. Top 10 plays in the one-on-one scene. Oh my gosh, this is great. Yeah, Reese on there a couple times. Oh. The angle. Look at the angle. Who does that? You gave Swift the idea? I'm sure of it. Imagine Scoob would have hit the actual game winner, or the what should have been the game winner over there on that left wing. Damn.
Exclusive, what you got for us?
Bruh, he be moving so unorthodox, man.
Exclusive, what you got for us?
God, he be. And did someone say he has no prior basketball experience?
That look like that. Bag work. We call that bag work.
Damn.
C4's is pressed all the way up, though.
Oh, yeah.
Pressure, fellas. At the hand. Move by Mike.
I remember watching it. I didn't know Mike Bruce had this. It really surprised me.
C4's is pressed all the way up, though. Ball pressure, fellas. At the hand. Move by Mike. What a move on great defense.
I didn't know he had that. Swift. What you doing with the little purple graphics? Is this anime? What you got going on here? I see you, Swift. I see you working.
What a move. That was beautiful on both sides. It really was.
Damn. They got each other with the same move.
Good season. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Swift, thank you. Thank you for not messing up your first day on the job of getting the top 10 plays. Thank you for not ruining it. I was going to fire you if you did not have this at number 1.
Yeah.
I would, if he drives, I'm fouling. If he drives, I'm fouling.
Oh my God!
He drives on. Oh my God!
C4 got switched the crowd after that.
Good season. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I would, if he drives, I'm fouling. If he drives, I'm fouling.
Oh my God!
He drives on.
That was that was so crazy. Hey, go follow, guys, please. If you guys trust in the vision, you guys believe in the vision, go subscribe. Swift Hoops has 105 subscribers. I want these every week, okay? We have 170 something people in here. I want to see top 10 plays every week, okay? And I don't want to have to be the one to do them. So please go like and subscribe. Go show support to Swift Hoops so we can get these every week. To the person saying, where's Lamar? The top 10 plays a week, this is April 19th through the 25th. So it probably didn't fit in that time because there was another game, another one that was in there that I was like, that time isn't perfect, but it has to be submitted, I think, by then. But, man, Swift, great job. Great video. I think this is something you should do. Please be doing this every week. You should definitely make sure you post this video on your channel. You should be getting people to react to it. And when we react to these videos, anyone that's going to be out there and reacting to these, please give a day or 2 days to let Swift get these videos up first and put the original link in the description, because we got to grow smaller channels like this rather than just devouring all their content. So yeah, I think this is great. And we've needed this for a while. Now that we finally have it, I think this is going to be really good for the one-on-one scene, but it's also going to be really good for the smaller platforms. It's going to be really good for the players that don't have as much recognition, that they can submit their highlights, their top 10 play or whatever, and they can start getting their followers, getting their name out there through this. So I think this is dope. Great job. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the top 10? What should change about this? What do you like about it? What do you dislike about it? And should you also do like a top 10 of the month? You can take that idea too if you want to. That was really good. That was really good. Are we watching NOLA versus Toronto today? If I have time. if I have time. We got to cover one more event. We got to cover Pep's event next. And then I will pretty much have what I needed to get done today. Just subbed. Let's go. More effects. Yeah, we need more effects. More noises, more anime effects. Maybe some snow if you can find some. He can also do top defensive plays. Yeah, top defensive plays, top offensive plays, top beefs of the week, top one-liners of the week. I disagree. Less effects. I was kidding. Less effects is almost always better. If Swift didn't top 10 it, then it ain't top 10 right. Facts. 3 to 5 honorable mentions. Oh yeah, honorable mention. That'd be something easy to add. Pause. Wait, what you mean pause? What'd I say? What up, D Wade? Top switching the crowd moments. We need AI tigers for sure. All right, let's do our next. Let's talk about the scene. Let's talk about Pep's event. Top beefs. Oh, pause. I meant like arguments, fights. Okay, get your mind out the gutter. Malik's block, but it was out of range, and he was called for goal. Oh yeah, he got like 4 goaltends in that game. They were all blocks. Zay will never reach the top 10 plays list. Facts. Could there be a tie for number 1 or any numbers? Moon number 1 on TNC. Moon might be number 1 in the world. Shacked in a fool moments. Monthly Shacked in a fools. We're going through Pep's event right now. We're going to go through Pep's event right now. What's up, gang? Hope you're doing well. We just broke down the TNC and Freesmoke event, and now we're moving on to Pep, the scene. This ain't the league. It's the scene by our GOAT, the greatest in the world, Pep Go Live. Overall, so we'll talk about the event first, then we'll go through the individual matchups just like we typically do. But we had a really good conversation earlier. What's a pay-per-view? What's a live event? Whatever. I'm just going to refer to these as pay-per-views. Whether you guys agree, disagree, that's a conversation for another day. But Pep's pay-per-view I thought was really good. And the way that I typically judge these, I would never judge or grade a Pep Go Live event versus a Ball is Life event, right? I typically grade them against themselves. So Pep's event compared to his last event. Because the TNC event was the day before, a lot of people were like, this TNC would never do this. And I'm like, yeah, it's because you just watched TNC, but now you're watching a different event. So you can't expect like to follow up that production. So most of again, looking at it through that lens of how I grade different events based on your previous event, as long as you're improving, like that's all I can ask for, right? So the one thing I will say that has to get better, I think, from now on, any live events, pay-per-views, whatever, where you're expecting people to pay, you have to put an emphasis of starting on time. Changing it back, was it an hour and a half? And then within that hour and a half, changing it another 15 minutes and then starting it a couple minutes earlier than that. It's like you have to stick to a time, even if that means just turning on the stream at that time. Ideally, you start the stream at the right time and the first game happens when it's supposed to. But if you can't get that right, you got to have the setup and everything at least has to start on time. I do think that's one thing from now on going forward that's kind of a non-negotiable for everyone that's doing an event where people have to pay. I think you got to put an emphasis on starting on time. That's got to be better. Other than that, I didn't have major glaring criticisms of Pep's event. That was like the main issue I had with it. I thought the intro was very good. Again, I know people were saying like the face-offs wasn't high production value or whatever. The intro had its music, Welcome to the Scene, which now I know the lyrics to, and I will never forget for the rest of my life. I thought the intro was very good. Not having replays for this event, again, compared to Pep's last event, they had a phone on a tripod sitting at half court. But the fact that this one had the camera moving, and I'm not going to grade too harshly on not having replays, not having like commercials in between. At least it had an overlay saying what game was next. I think all of that was really good, especially for being a second event. I do think replays, as we just spoke about with the last thing, replays is going to be something people want. If there's not replays, there needs to be something playing probably in between the games, or at least a countdown timer, just something so people know like how long they're waiting for, because it's just like a silent screen. Or if you don't have it muted like I did most of the time, you're just listening to one song 1,000 times in a pay-per-view. But otherwise, very good. Those are the most critical things I think I had. The commentary, everyone was roasting the commentary in the comments, and I think it was a little bit of like, what do you call it? Herd mentality, right? Like when with a little bit of dogpiling going on. I thought the commentary was fine. Like Vucci, and is it Bry that does the TikToks and stuff? I think it's cool to get new commentators, different commentary. I think more platforms should mix up commentary, me included. Like, people get tired of hearing the same people over and over. So I like when there's different commentary, and I thought they did a good job professionalism wise. So I can't critique based off of professionalism. Now, obviously, there's things that could be better, like the things they're saying or what they're adding, what type of value they're adding, knowing when to be quiet, knowing when to talk, knowing when to add something, when not to. But that stuff you learn as you go. And again, as a commentator, I went through it, right? The very first event I did, people didn't know who I was. So it was just like, man, this guy's trash. This guy sucks. He's never played basketball in his life. I can tell. It's just something you have to deal with. So Bry and Vucci, y'all are going to get fried in the comments. Don't read the comments. Don't read but it just is what it is. It's their first time, or it's Bry's first time, I'm pretty sure. But I thought it was okay. Like, they'll be fine. They'll get better and improve. But they weren't on their phones. They weren't sitting there on their phone the whole time. They weren't away from the table, which I've watched a lot of these events, and there's a lot of commentators that don't take it serious. So the most important thing, at least they took it serious, and they can get better and improve from there. Again, this event showed me 100% there has to be a foul bonus. We'll get into it the deeper we go, but there not being a foul bonus, again, there was a couple games that really dragged on that shouldn't have. So we'll discuss that when we get to it. But the foul bonus, I've seen 2 events back to back now. Now that I've seen we've seen 4 events with a foul bonus. It's really hard for me to go to events with no foul bonus and unlimited fouling and just be like, yeah, everything's fine. I think that's something else that's got to change. Overall, what I think this event did, hopefully for everyone, was show overall what it looks like with NBA players, former NBA players, recently retired NBA players, longer retired NBA players that can't move as well, NBA players that went through the G League and were hard workers the whole time and are still active. There's so much more nuance and context that goes into this conversation now, YouTuber versus NBA player, than just that. YouTuber versus NBA player, of course, NBA player is going to dust them every time. We're getting to a point where it's like, okay, what about a retired NBA player that's been out of the league for 5 years versus a YouTuber that's like top 5 in the scene? That's a different conversation. I think this event kind of gave a lot more context to those conversations, and I do believe this pushed the 1v1 scene forward. So I thought this event was amazing. I thought it was a great event, and Pep's the GOAT. Pep's the GOAT. This is not the scene, it's the league. So let's go through the games. We'll go through the games here. I don't think there's 2 games missing from my stats. But first game, JP versus Mia. JP versus Mia. I actually really enjoyed this game. I thought it was a great game. And I've been talking about it for a while. You don't necessarily need top 5 matchups all the time, as long as the game is even, as long as it's evenly matched. We just talked about it in our previous video. If it's a 50-50 game, I would rather watch a 50-50 game with 2 average hoopers than a 90-10 game with a really, really good hooper and someone who's not nearly as good as them. I would much rather watch that. So that Mia JP game ended up actually being really good. And I do think what took it made it drag on too long. Again, it's just the foul bonus. We cleaned that up. It makes these games go a little quicker, but that was a really fun game to watch. And it ended with a buzzer beater, or not a buzzer beater, but a game winning, tough, crazy corner step through. So that was pretty cool. Second game of the night. So Pep versus Zoe. This is where I had that criticism of Terry with his event. I think when you're running an event, you gotta, like, being the main event also is probably super taxing, and it's really tough to keep your energy up for an entire night and then play a game. Frigga spoke about this. I never thought about it until Frigga said something, and then we've seen it with Pep. Pep spoke about it, and now Pep put his game second. So rather than being later on in the day, like as the main event, he just put his second, so it gets it out of the way. I think that was the right choice, and it ended up working out better for the event too. So Pep versus Zoe. Early on, it looked like Pep was just going to dominate, like ducking his shoulder, getting to the basket. I don't know why he didn't keep doing it, but Zoe, once he finally hit a couple threes, and he only hit a couple threes. Once he finally hit a couple, he ended up pulling the game out. But as we've seen here, Zoe had 14 fouls. They were saying it was a defensive masterclass. I was like, they're just hacking the shit out of each other. Zoe had 14 fouls. Pep had 10. And the shooting percentages, 12 for 37 for Pep, 3 for 17 from the three. And then you look at Zoe, went 11 for 41, so 26% overall, 2 for 9 from the three. But he did go 7 for 7 from the free throw line. Pep going 1 for 7 from the free throw line. So again, Pep at the end of the game was like, I ain't got no excuses, and then goes on to give 3 excuses. But then he was like, I got to stop beating myself. I got to start making these players beat me. And I got to stop letting these other players beat me. And I keep beating myself. And I'm like, wait, what? I know what you're saying, but it doesn't make sense. But yeah, missing 6 free throws. That's 6 extra possessions. And then missing 14 3-pointers. I think Pep should have just 8 more of these threes. If you don't shoot 8 more threes, that's 8 more possessions that you're driving downhill and maybe get a free throw, maybe get a layup. But then also making a couple more free throws, right? Just wins the game. So Pep did beat himself, but Zoe did what he was supposed to do. He fought through, ended up getting the win, so can't take anything away from him. But Pep probably should have closed that one out. But that was a good win for Zoe, because I actually think Pep is pretty underrated in that small guard class. Next game, so game 3, this was the 3v3 versus Bijan, Lefty, and Scar, Rob, Reese, and Pat. Now, this one makes a lot more sense, right, than that 3v3 that we saw on the Freesmoke event. This one made a lot more sense just because it was far more even. I still think a healthy Rob makes this game look a lot different, but I'm never going to be comfortable using that excuse. Oh, this guy was unhealthy, or this guy was injured, or whatever, because they're the ones checking. I don't get to make the decision if they check up or not. They are making that decision. So I don't want to then afterwards be like, well, we got to take this into account. If Rob wasn't fully healthy but still took the game, you can't hold that against the Bijan, Lefty, and Scar, right? Because had Rob won, we wouldn't have used that excuse. We didn't use that whenever they won the game the day before. So Bijan, Lefty, and Scar. Oh my gosh. Scar had 28. I'm pretty sure he had 28 points. He went off. But the thing that I was most impressed by Scar is his willingness to just shoot open shots. Typically what we see from Scar is he's always wanting to do too much. Let me unplug my camera before it overheats. And then open the window. One thing we typically see from Scar is he'll turn down open threes, he'll turn down open shots, and then he'll just go take the most difficult possible shot ever, trying to clip farm, essentially. But he was super efficient. He took a couple of those, but for the most part, he was shooting open threes, he was getting to the basket, he was just on fire. And I think if he continues to play that way, take the open shot when it's there, then when you hit an open shot, now the rest of your bag really opens up. I think if he can flip his game around to where it's 70% efficiency, 30% looking for clips or getting into his bag, I think he's a completely different player. I do think he's a top 10 talent easily, top 7 talent easily. but it's just he's got to get that mental aspect down. And when he does, this is what he looks like. So I was really impressed by Scar. Lefty fit the game well. Like he hit his open threes when he needed to, didn't do too much. He actually fit this team pretty well. And Bijan got off a little bit too. So he kept the other team honest because he was willing to go one-on-one, go at Reese a little bit. Also, it sets up that matchup between Bijan and Reese because they were going at each other. Reese had like the first 11 points going at Bijan. So I think this was a good game. It's really entertaining. I don't typically like team games in a pay-per-view, but if this one made sense because it was kind of like a Ball is Life versus TNC sort of thing. There's some what do you call it? There's some bragging rights there. So both teams took it serious, and I think that's those make good games. Again, it's a 50-50 game. Made sense for everybody. I liked it. Getting on to, again, another game of the night contender. Freaking Moon does it again. Moon versus Dang. Let's get into this. So, couple things. We're going to have this discussion. I'm going to talk about my top 5 rankings, but I think the winner of the weekend, of the pay-per-views, of the platforms, of all the players, all the pros, everything. I think the winner of the weekend was Moon. Moon winning his performance. So we've got another video coming out where we're gonna talk about this, but his performance of playing a game the day before against Inu, against a player that could possibly come out and be a 50-50 game, and then flying to Texas to play against Dang in another 50-50 game. Like, Moon is exactly what the one-on-one scene is about. And it's players like him, players like Scoob, the Kells, people that are just willing to play in whatever environment, under whatever circumstance. Like those are the guys that really built out the scene to what it is now. And honestly, I think Moon was the biggest winner of the weekend with just like, I don't even know how to describe how tough to do what he did, beating Inu and then beating Dang back-to-back days. I will say Moon looked a lot more comfortable in this game than Dang, shooting really tough shots, but he got a shot off almost every time. And we'll see that here. He had 1 turnover. Dang, on the other hand, looked like again, it's kind of what Mead was talking about. It really surprised him how active Moon's hands were and how quick he was able to get to the ball when he would drive. Moon having 9 turnovers shows me he was not very comfortable. He was not expecting Moon to be getting his hands in there every time. So I think if Dang had a better game plan of like, just get your hands free, get to a spot and elevate, I think Dang would have played a lot, or would have come out with the win. But again, that's Moon's superpower. The amount of steals and deflections, and it's crazy. His closing power at the end of a layup, at the end of a possession is crazy. There was one possession where Dang he jabbed, went baseline, and he just blew by Moon completely. Moon got back into the play and then grabs the ball and gets a jump ball. And I was like, I thought that was about to be a dunk. I don't know how he does that. But 11 for 30, he shot 36%. Didn't even shoot a great percentage, 7 for 20 from 3. But right here, Dang going 10 for 21. He actually shot an incredibly high percentage against Moon, but those 9 turnovers. And I was talking to, I can't remember who I was talking to while we were watching this game, but I said at the end of the game, Dang took a 3-pointer when he was at 28. And I said it was the right shot because I'm like, at least he got a shot off. The last thing you can do is just drive and not even get a shot off. And it's because I was just seeing this the whole game. Dang just kept turning it over. So again, that speaks more about Moon than it does Dang. Again, everyone we've spoken to that's played against Moon says that's like, you don't understand how tough it is to get the ball up through your shooting pocket and finish layups and stuff against Moon until you get on the court. So now that Dang's seen that, I do think he'll have a lot of good game film to go back and watch. I think this will be probably the best game for Dang to just like improve on his own game. So awesome game. Really impressed by Moon, like I said, but also Dang taking him down to the last couple points and having 8 turnovers. Having 8 turnovers shows me that like Dang's got a high ceiling. He's got a lot of room to improve on, and then losing by 3, like, yeah, great game. The next game, Jonte Porter and Isaiah Austin. I thought it was interesting. Okay, I was excited for this game just because it's like a what if, and it just shows people like a little bit difference of like, oh, what would NBA players play like? And I've been saying it for a while, right? Like NBA guys playing in the ones would be a lot of like get downhill, get to your spot and just elevate. And everything they were doing was like a post up, get back to the basket, fade away, mid-range jump shot. Like that's just how they play, and they know they can get their hands free every time. So Isaiah Austin only having that one turnover. I think he actually had a couple turnovers. He might have had one, or he might have had a couple, but really for the most part, they were always able to get to a spot on the court where they could shoot a jump shot. And really it just came down to who was going to hit more contested jump shots. And I think it also looked cool seeing the commentators stand next to and interview, or Pep, stand next to and interview these guys. And it's like, oh my gosh, they're like way taller and they're going between the legs and dribbling and post up and being efficient. So it just shows like how much space the one-on-one scene has to grow still. If we've got 7-footers moving way more efficiently than some of our guards. I do think this game, them going to like 15 would have been perfect. Going to 20, maybe. Going to 20 would have been perfect. They both got really tired towards the end and the game started dragging on. But I think when you get two pros playing against each other and they're not in shape like these one-on-one guys, I think just lower the score. Lower the score like 21, something like that, and it'll keep it more entertaining for like the casual fan. Because like I said, the game dragged on. But I liked it. It was overall good. Not a lot of fouling, 2 fouls to 5. There was blocks. Jonte Porter tried to dunk on Isaiah Austin, and I guess we'll count it as a dunk. But it was fun. It was fun to watch. What'd you guys think of that one? And then what I thought was going to be game of the night, and kind of probably was, but I mean main event material, Scoob versus Jonathan Simmons. So we spoke about this with Court, and I spoke about this with just a ton of people in general. Like Jonathan Simmons, if he's in shape and taking it serious, it's going to get scary. It's going to get scary for Scoob, and nothing against Scoob. It's literally they're the same type of player, right? They're the same like hard worker, hard nose, like get after it, play defense, be physical. They're the same type of player, except one of them is 6'6", right? Like there was a couple times Scoob tried to drive and Jonathan Simmons just held his hand out like this and just like he didn't have to hand check with 2 hands. He just had the one arm bar like they do in the NBA, and Scoob couldn't move. And it just goes to show like that's why weight classes matter, height classes, whatever you want to call it. That's why some of those things matter in the bigger picture, more so than skill, more so than some other things. So this game, I was pretty impressed by Scoob because he actually had a lot of chances to win, but I do think there's a difference, right? People are going to say, so you look at this 3-point percentage, man, Scoob went 4 for 18 threes. He couldn't hit anything. He was just off. There's a reason Scoob went 4 for 18. I don't know if you've ever played against someone who's like 6 inches taller than you, 5 inches taller than you, and they're athletic. Just being able to get your shot through the shot pocket and then shooting it, knowing that they're going to get a hand up and contest, it's a little bit different of a shot. I think the reason Scoob was 4 for 18 because he's playing against Jonathan Simmons, who used to have to guard LeBron and freaking Kobe and Steph Curry, guys like that, right? Now he's guarding Scoob. Like those contests are just a little bit different. He also missed a layup at the basket, which we could see it as fans. It was an open layup. But in Scoob's brain, he's like, yeah, I bumped him and I'm going up, but he might come out of nowhere and try to pin it. So I thought this game was really good. I thought Jonathan Simmons showing respect to the space and being in shape and being prepared was a huge benefit. It was a huge benefit for the scene. And I think a lot more NBA players will want to get into the scene. A lot more former pros, former NBA players will want to get into the scene after seeing that performance. So I thought it was good. Like he went 11 for 29, 37%, shot 10% better than Scoob, only took 6 threes, but was 1 for 6. The biggest thing here, 7 for 7 free throws. 7 for 7 free throws. Scoob actually tried the tactic of, I'm going to start fouling. I'm going to start hacking him because I'm missing shots. I'm going to muck up the game. He made all his free throws. Scoob fouled 13 times to Jonathan Simmons 8. Fouled 13 times. And if you're a pro and you can make all your free throws, it kind of takes away that tactic a little bit. So that was a really good game. I enjoyed it. Me personally, we'll talk about rankings and stuff in a little bit. I don't think this is a game I look at and I'm like, man, Scoob's really fallen off. He lost to Nas and he just lost to Jonathan Simmons. Man, Scoob is just a shell of himself. He is not the same. I don't think there's many people in the one-on-one scene that have a chance to win against Jonathan Simmons. And the other thing I want to point out, and Pep said this, he asked 4 out of the top 5 players to take this game, and Scoob is literally the only one that agreed to it. So again, we can drag him if we want to as fans, but he could have easily just not played the game. But Uncle Scoob for the culture. So again, this is Uncle Scoob, Moon, guys like that. Like, they're the ones that kind of push the scene forward, like keep making it go forward. So I can't hold somebody back over a game that no one else would even take. So yeah, I thought that was a great game and should have been the main event. Then we probably don't need to spend a lot of time on this last one, Nas versus Gerald Green. It was exactly what we thought would happen. I don't think there was one person, so I'm not even gonna say like I called this. I don't think there was anyone in the YouTube space that thought that Gerald Green would win this game. We saw Gerald Green versus Dev in the lab, and it really surprised me how nonchalant he was and just wasn't taking it serious. And I, for some reason, thought maybe there was a small chance that Gerald Green was just like, okay, that was just like a creator thing. I didn't really care, but I'm actually going to lock in. I'm actually going to take this a lot more serious. And then as soon as Gerald Green took the microphone from Pep and said, hey, Nas, really respect what you got going on here. Love everything you're doing. You know, win or lose, no matter what happens, I respect the one-on-one space. And I was like, oh, shoot, this is going to get ugly. This is going to get ugly. So I do like that Gerald Green took the game. He brought it to Houston. He's what, you know, him being a part of it was what made this event what it was. But this was just not a game that was ever going to be close. And the thing I do like about it, though, Scoob losing to Jonathan Simmons, like the whole NBA community is going to run with that, like the pros, right? There's levels. So the fact that Nas belted Gerald Green, at least, and again, there's always context and nuance with these conversations, okay? I am not going to say Nas should be in the NBA. What I am saying is, just because someone says they played in the NBA, that's not enough to just win an argument. Gerald Green played in the NBA, was a very good NBA player. Nas beat him 31-4. It's like, well, but he was older. Well, yeah, of course he's older, but you guys weren't saying that before. You were saying even retired pros would belt the YouTube scene. You're not saying that. Well, no, Gerald Green wasn't a scorer. He was just a pick and pop shooter. Oh, okay, but you weren't saying that before. Is what I'm getting at. You weren't saying that before. You said NBA player, and it's like, well, Nas is only calling out Gerald Green, the old retired ones. No, he's calling out current ones, but everyone thinks that like they should never play. At least it's a conversation now, right? That is what we got out of these two games. At least it's a conversation. Scoob looked like he was never supposed to win this game just based off of size and athleticism. And then Gerald Green never looked like he was going to win this game based off of not being in shape, not taking it that serious, right? So there's at least there are conversations now. At least it's not just YouTubers are so far beyond NBA players or former NBA players. At least now it's conversation. So I do think that's what we got out of it. Let me know what you guys think down below with those two games and that pro conversation that we've had a couple times. But yeah, overall, I think this event was a huge win for the 1v1 space. I think this event was a huge win for even smaller platforms. I don't think many small platforms can compete with that. So hopefully they just decide not to do those types of events and get our hopes up. I think they should focus on community style events and do their own thing. But Pep has kind of cemented himself as the platform in the middle that is bridging that gap between and doing the kind of more entertaining matchups like the NBA versus pros, that sort of thing. Like Pep is locking that up. I hope he continues to keep doing it. And I hope this is a sustainable business model for him, because I want to see these types of games and events keep happening. But I don't want TNC OTD Ball is Life to try and do this. I think leave this for Pep. Leave this for people like that to do the interesting matchups. Now I hope the bigger three platforms can focus on the building the YouTube players, building the more sustainable leagues and that sort of thing. So let me know what you guys thought down below. Which event did you like more? TNC, Freesmoke, Pep the Scene, or are you like me, just a basketball fan who's like, I like them both. They're both different events, and I got different enjoyment out of each one. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what I got wrong or what you guys disagree with, and yeah, see you guys in the next one. What we think. What up, Federa? The people who are still well, so I saw people moving the goalposts already in these comments saying Nas needs to play an NBA player, but not like a normal one. He needs to play like someone who's a scorer, you know, like a Shea, like a Jason Tatum, and I'm like, brother, no one thinks that. No one thinks Nas should play them. I've not heard one person say that. Nobody thinks that. Doing too much. Joe Green versus Ty Lawson. Seeing Simmons adjust in real time was awesome. Yeah, he's just a different type of player, man. Appreciate both. Simmons' stamina really surprised me. He isn't even tired. Don't forget. Oh, Landis. Yeah, I got you. Hold on. You got to remind me of the question. I got you. Appreciate good basketball in the day. I like Freesmoke because Pep shit was lagging. It was lagging, but again, it wasn't. It was better than their last event. And the lag got yeah, I'll do top 5 rankings. Oh, Geo Chris in the chat. Geo Chris somewhere in chat. Oh, it's too high up, but is the one that sent me all that data that we were using. More excited, but liked both. Both were awesome. Yeah, I think they were both great. Let him cook. What up? Post highlights and results during the events like TNC. Makes it easier to share the hype with people who aren't tapped in. Yeah. What were your thoughts on the 3v3? I already covered that. We'll do our ranking. I'll do my rankings right here in a second. Active rotation player is not playing in the ones. Exactly. Deuce McBride versus Nas. Calling Nas the Jake Paul of basketball. Yeah. It's a little bit different, though. A little bit different. Nas forgotten about Eugene now? I don't think so. I think he still wants to play that. Should I release the files? 100%. 100% Geo Chris. Get that data out there. So otherwise someone else is going to do it. To let TNC or OTD, Ball is Life, power the event. If he can get the production right, because it was better than last time, then I think it's better he does it himself. You're doing the same kind of content as me, and you also game. So you're doing basketball content or same style of content I do with video games? The biggest thing is trying to get your workflow down and also having a goal for like, what is it you're trying to do? Are you doing it for fun or are you doing it to make money? Liked Peps better because you were there. That's always how it goes. Anytime I'm there at a game. Oh yeah, Geo, you should be working with like Map and some of those magazines and Swift. Y'all can get that data going. Who do y'all got in a 1v1 Nas versus Bronny? I just got here. Could I get it too long didn't read? It was a great game because it was a 50-50 game that could have gone either way. It was better than the TNC one because it felt like that was like a 70-30 game. And Scar went off. GG's. I like Reese in the team settings, but he kind of scares me in the ones because he never just goes. Yeah, but I think he figured it out a little bit more in the OTD games. Think there's a debate that Moon could be over Scoob? 100%. There's definitely a conversation. We'll talk about that'll be my next video that I get into here in a second. Moon leaving for China after a few days, no rest. No. So Moon probably leaving right now. His rest will be on the plane. Moon will get some rest while he's on the plane, and then as soon as he lands, he's got 3 games back to back. Hard right, hard left. That's not good for your agenda. Moon the GOAT. So that's what too long didn't read means. TLDR. Scar deserve a top 5 matchup. Top 10. He deserves a top 10 matchup. Bronny. Moon is battery powered. Kind of the same style. I'm not very good at breaking down the game yet because I'm still learning myself. So the 1v1 scene mostly, but I'm learning to start reacting to the playoffs. Okay. Yeah. Finding a niche about like who's not doing what. The hardest thing about reacting to the NBA stuff is because of copyright. So the one-on-one scene is really good for that, but consistency. So I batch record. I record multiple games obviously in a row, and then I batch upload. So that way I get out 2 videos per day. Then I'm also streaming. So for me, it's a lot of work, a lot of consistency, but figuring out my workflow to where Landis, if you want to add me or if you want to jump on my Discord, we can just I'm happy to have a one-on-one conversation with you if you want. We can do like a video call or something. The loss Scoob did for the ranking. I'll talk about that in a second. Scar versus Reese. Make it happen. Isn't that Baller's life? What up, Drew? Peyton Pritchard cleaning up. Peyton Richard, actually. That's what Nitty called him. Peyton Richard. Almost batch record 2 and stream. Okay, yeah, let's do a well, not right now. Let's not do it right now. Let's do it after I stream. Let's do, if you can do tonight, that'd be ideal. He's a Baltimore scammer. Yeah, map with 1B. Moon stopping Dang for 4 to 5 straight possessions really surprised me. Not me, really, because again, Dang hasn't played top 5 guys yet to learn, like, okay, what are my go-tos? When things get tough, where can I get a shot? And that's what most players at the top 5, that top 7 range, they understand where can they go to get a shot off. W, coach, appreciate you. Baller's Life Battlegrounds. Nas will beat Simmons? Maybe. Keem? I don't know. Anybody in that middle tier. Keem versus Reese, AB, Bijan. Scoob? A Scoob game? Got you, Landis. What's the link? My bot keeps posting it. Where the Nas Green video at? On Pep's thing, I think. Does someone have the link for Discord? I'll send the link now. Maybe Zay is just that good. All right, let's talk about. You guys are forcing the conversation, so we might as well talk about it now. Okay. After this weekend, a lot of things changed. Okay, a lot of questions got in. No, I'm kidding. It's not that serious, but my top 5 ranking did change a bit, and I need to look into this for later in the week. And I think we're getting to a point where I think I can have a consistent top 10 ranking, but we'll do top 5 first. We'll do top 5 first. And the conversation for me, I don't think anyone in the top 7 through 15 range, whatever, I don't think it moved. I don't think it, Drew, thanks for becoming a member. I don't think it really changed that much. I'm not really worried about the top 7 through 15 too much with what transpired over this weekend. I'm not too worried about it. But my top 5 did slightly change a little bit. Obviously, there was a lot of activity in the top 5, so it's only right. And I think I'm going to do these top 5 rankings every month just so we can keep a chronological order of like when events are happening, how much people are moving. Because if I just do one every 3-4 months, we kind of forget games that happen in between, and then recency bias kicks in. So I think every month is good enough to keep like a chronological order, and then we just update it every month. But my top 5 players at number 6, okay, I've got Nesco. For the same reasons I had him at number 6 before, him being injured, playing against Meade, I still don't count that game as a loss. He was down 1 point, but he injured his knee and he's been out for a while because of that. I hate penalizing guys for being injured and not playing, but before he got injured, he had also lost to Jerome Randall. So for me, I'm like, I think it's just him not being active, although he's injured. Just is at 6, probably doesn't deserve to be in the top 5 just based off of recent games. And then, lost in that 2v1 with Teo. And again, that doesn't really count towards my rankings, but I do start counting that stuff when I think you're tied with another player. And because I think he's kind of tied a little bit with the person that I have above him, I just use those just to make some semblance, right? You got to make a movement somewhere. Nesco's 6, but again, he comes back, gets a win, probably jumps over this next person. So Nesco, honorable mention, number 6, which means my number 5 player. God, y'all are going to hate me for this. I'm going to get so much hate. They're going to drag me in all 3 Discords. My number 5 player is Mr. Robert Cologne. Rob is my number 5 player. In my recent rankings, I know. I get it. Okay, I get it. In my recent rankings, I'd moved him up to number 4. But I moved him up to number 4 not because of something he did, but he just hadn't lost and hadn't played any games. But Moon had a recent loss against Meade. Even though Moon had like 4 wins, I think, in that time. Actually, Moon's got like 5 or 6 wins, right? Moon had taken a loss, so I moved him down 1 spot. But then after this weekend, there's no way I could keep Moon at 5. Okay? There's no way I could keep Moon at 5. So I've moved Rob to number 5. And not because he's done anything bad. He just hasn't played. That's literally it. That's what I keep going to. Rob just hasn't played. That's it. I don't think he's any worse. I don't think everyone in the top 5 necessarily beats him. Okay, bear with me. Now this might be a little controversial. And this video and this conversation that I have with you guys might help me figure it out. I still have, I think I have Moon at number 4. But I go back and forth with Moon right now also being in the top 3. So I'm like 50-50 on this. I have Moon at number 4. And we'll have this conversation. This might help me iron this out a little bit better. I don't think you should necessarily, like in the power rankings, for example. So on Swift Hoops, I don't expect certain things to go into account, right? Like this player lost to this person who did this and this. And I just, some of those things like, oh, this person had a crazy performance if you saw the way he played and what he looked like. I don't think you should typically count that in your rankings, but somewhere I do count it. At some point it does matter. Moon playing back-to-back games and getting on live events or pay-per-views, if we want to call them that, whatever. Moon doing what he did is just one of those things that when a player does something like that, it means a little bit more than just, oh, Moon went 2-0, right? He's won 2 games in a row. It means a little bit more when you play back-to-back. It's the exact same as when Scoob played against ISO Hove on Ball is Life, and then the very next game played Pep, and he beat them both. Sometimes you can do some things that I think speaks more than just the record of 2-0. So essentially on paper, Moon just won 2 games. On paper, he just won 2 games. And look, it was Inu, who's not really proven on the scene, and it was Dang, who honestly, Dang's best win was AB, right? So he played against 2 players he's technically supposed to beat. And he just lost to Mead before. So if I wanted to argue Scoob, that would be my arguments against Moon being number 4, being number 3. But on the flip side of that, Moon winning the 2 games that he won, and he's played more games, so of course he's lost more. It's hard to hold that against him. Losing to Mead, who is really freaking good, obviously we've seen that, and then losing to Colin, I think was the loss before that, someone who's 6'5". We saw the difference with Scoob playing someone who's 6'6" NBA player, right? So I don't like counting those losses really against a player's top ability to be in the top 5, Moon and Scoob, because they take those types of games. So I have to make a choice. I'm putting Moon at number 4. But if you have Moon at number 3, I completely agree. And I've got nothing against that. Now, I'm going to argue for my number 3 person and against, okay? So Scoob, arguing for Scoob, it's really hard for me to drop him, right? It's really hard for me to drop him from number 2, which is what he was a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. He was number 2, and then he lost to the number 1 guy, and now he just lost to an active, he's not actively in the NBA, but an active former NBA pro. It's really hard for me to be like, yeah, you lost to those guys. You're out, buddy. Like, we got to hold those against you. It's like, you're supposed to lose to the number 1 guy. You're number 2. You're supposed to lose to the former NBA player that's 6'6", and no one else in the top 5 would take the game. You're supposed to lose that game. So it's really hard for me to be like, yeah, Scoob lost to Jonathan Simmons. He sucks. Get him out. Let's move other guys who wouldn't take the game. Let's move them above him. You know what I mean? And again, if you say, hey, he checked up and the game's got to count because he checked up, I also agree with that. So I see both sides of it. So arguing for Scoob, I don't think those games should really count against his resume. But then on the flip side, you can't just always say losing doesn't matter. You can't always infinitely give grace for like, oh, this doesn't count for this. Oh, this, right? So there's some gray area where Moon and Scoob are tied. They're like number 3A and 3B, but because I have to make a choice, I'm going to put Moon at number 4. I'm going to keep Scoob at number 3. Now, it's so funny that every single one of these spots, Nesco could be in the top 5. If you argued Nesco in the top 5, okay, you got it. If you argue Rob in the top 3, you got it. If you argue Moon in the top, there's that top 6 is cemented, I believe. Now it's just where you have those players. I can agree on an argument for each one of them being in a different spot. This is no different than number 1 and number 2 right now. I've thought about this quite a bit. And again, I've personally put Zay at number 2, not because I think he's not as good as Nas, or not because I don't think him beating Nas counts. It's again, you could have Zay at number 1, or you could have Zay at number 2. I could see both arguments, but Zay, the fact that he was number 3 and then he beat Lamar Peters doesn't make me want to put him at number 1. Does that make sense? Like, just because he beat LP goes to 1, whereas Nas number 1 beat the number 2 guy, so he should drop below Zay. I just think I keep Nas at number 1. I put Zay at number 2. But anyone that holds more weight on that game that they played when they did play against each other, if you hold more weight on that, then you would probably have Zay at number 1. And I wouldn't argue against you. That's fine. I think it just depends what you value more. I think because Nas is on a 33-game win streak, I think that's like, you can't win 33 games and the guy won't rematch you for all those years and be like, he did beat me 3 years ago, so I guess I can never be better than him. I think for me, I've got Nas at number 1, but if you have Zay at number 1, I completely agree. But yeah, Zay to me is the clear number 2 at least, and probably doesn't get talked about enough as needing to be in that number 1 conversation. And again, it's just because his game isn't very loud. He doesn't talk a lot either. He doesn't go on live, and he doesn't have a lot of flashy wins. And when I say flashy wins, I mean, like, even him beating LP, he didn't talk a lot of trash. Like, he kind of was just respectful, right? He talked a little bit of trash, but he kind of didn't. He's not dragging it. He's not bringing it up every couple days. Like, his wins are just so silent. So I think he doesn't get talked about enough. But for me, I definitely see what value. Every time I see him, I'm like, man, I'm so impressed by your game. Like, he's one of my favorite players. Definitely deserving of that top 2 and even the top 1 spot. But I also know they're gonna have to see each other, and I can't wait for that. Nas versus Zay, they're gonna have to see each other. What do you guys think about my top 5? Did I get it right? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Do you think Zay should be number 1? Do you think Nas doesn't deserve to be number 1 because he's ducking everyone? That's what everyone always goes with. He's always ducking people. What do you think about Scoob and Moon? That's when I'm more interested about that conversation than any of the others. I'm pretty confident with the rest of my list, but that's Scoob versus Moon. I want to hear your arguments and what you guys think. This is like a credit score. At some point, old games got to come off the record. I kind of agree. Zay wins from 3 years ago don't count anymore. No, I'm not. I didn't say it shouldn't. I didn't say it shouldn't count, but I think it weighs less than if it would have been like a year ago, right? But I don't know how much. I don't know how much it should. Didn't realize it was that many games. Yeah, 33 wins is crazy. He's got 33 wins in a row, which is more than most people have games on the scene. Nas versus Zay need to happen before Archie. I wish it would. I don't think it will. But I also don't think if Nas loses to Archie or Eugene, I don't think it would ruin the Nas Zay game. Might as well do it. I'd love to see it. I think it'll be its own pay-per-view though. Actually think Zay got better resume than Nas. I think it's mainly just the Zay beating Nas which holds the most weight. Got it right? I appreciate it. Zay has a way better resume. I wouldn't say way better. 33 wins in a row. Yeah, this game is happening this year. Scoop versus Moon is debatable. Moon beat Lat this year. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I should have had that in that argument. Top 5 is on point. I appreciate that. Scoop and Moon needs to be decided via. Now you're thinking, Breezy. Now you're thinking. I like the way you're thinking. Isn't it funny? The two games that's really hard for me to decide. The two games it's really hard for me to decide where they should be can easily just be settled by a checkup. And that's those 50-50 games that we've been speaking about, and those 50-50 games we're trying to push for more. If the game makes sense for both players, we do it. Do you know if Moon beat Lat before or after Mead? I think the Lat game was before. It doesn't matter to me, but I'm pretty sure it was before. Did I see the OTD Mikey Williams event coming up? I did. I did see that. Did you see it? What do you think about it? Is the Nas Eugene game happening anytime soon? I don't know. I think it's up to Eugene, like when he's back. But I think he just signed with another team. So I think it was supposed to happen, and then he just got picked up by another team. So he may not even be back this summer. 7-2 this year alone. That's crazy that Moon's got like 9 games. Moon money line. Do y'all want to see him versus Eugene at least? For sure. Coach versus Gerald. Hey, now you're speaking my language. Nas is the Undertaker. Zay beat everybody in the top 5 except for Rob and Moon. So he beat 2 people in the top 5? Wait, Federa, I like how you worded that. Zay beat everybody in the top 5 except for Rob and Moon. That leaves 2 people. Rob also beat 2 people in the top 5. So did Moon. So did all of them beat 2 people in the top 5, didn't they? Rob, LP, Nas, 2 of those 3. Zay straight up has a better one in terms of win over top guys. Nas a villain. Who's 7 through 10? I don't know. I need to workshop that one first before I start talking, because I'll leave someone off. And I don't want to upset anyone when I haven't thought properly through it. Because now the videos, when I make a video and I say some stuff, it actually like people kind of run with the narratives, and Nas has more games and a better resume. Main wins come from the past. Who's your number 7? Kel? Kel for me is probably number 7 too. Lamar LP lost his value. Got to get a few good. Oh, you mean Nas LP? What are your ideal matchups for the OTD event? I actually don't know. I need to see all of the players because I don't think that's even all the players that are there. I don't even think that's all the players that are there. Is money or politics? We've spoken about this, Kurt. Probably more so politics. The money can get figured out. I think it's more so the politics. Are you going to react to the Mikey Williams OTD event? Yeah, we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that. Well, there's nothing's been announced on it yet, so I'll wait. Making the comparison to not. Oh, okay. Moon beating Lat moves the needle over Scoo because Scoo's most recent big win was like Bijan or Nitty. Moon beating Lat, but I mean, like I already said, like Moon losing to Colin and losing to Mead. Like he got the Lat win, but then he lost to Mead. So it's like yep, he did this. Oh, he did this. He's back to even. I think the strongest argument for Moon is what he did this weekend. Would I put Keem on my top 10? Skill wise, yeah, I have no issue with it. I only think the only reason the top 10 is what it would be is only records. Only because they're records. Yeah, skill wise, Keem deserves to be in there. C4, guys like that. 100% deserve to be in there. Yeah, I'll wait until TNC and OTD release matchups before we start speaking about those. Yeah, Ed, we just spoke about the PEP event. We got a video we'll drop tomorrow. People give Zay credit for beating Isote. Nas brings that up. That win he gets laughed at. Zay has the best resume as far as YouTubers. Nas has the best well-rounded resume. Yeah, they're too hard to compare. That's why 1A, 1B makes sense. Yeah, but Mikey Williams, MP might be playing. If they can get it to work out where he plays, he'll play. But again, because he's in the transfer portal, like obviously have to be super careful and everything has to be across the board. Nesco losing to the Pac-10 player of the year. He's got to be 6. Yeah, who did someone drop Nesco? I've got Nesco at 6. No, I have not. Missing. I have not. Dang versus Dooley. I think that'd be a great game. Yeah, Trey Croft. There's a game that I think might be happening, but I can't say it until things get announced. But I can't wait for that OTD event. Nas resume underrated? I think so. Any breakdowns today? Possibly. I wanted to do these 3 videos though, the top 5 that we just did. I wanted to do break down those couple of events. And we've got 1 hour left, which 1 hour left, which I've prepped with this game. I think this is the game that I was going to. Oh, I don't have it. Sorry. This game to 100 that I was going to watch. Just tell us, coach. I can't, or I'll lose my ability to go to events. Trey Croft versus Ja Wick. Ooh, that'll be a fun game to watch. How is Mikey still in college? How old is he? The college landscape has changed completely. I miss Frigga. He don't duck smoke. Well, he put a post up like he coming back or wanting to step back outside. He getting belt, sorry, most likely. GG's. Game to 100 in 5 minutes. Are they actually? I didn't know that. Well, I was probably going to watch this one. Certified Kai, what up? I'm feeling good. How are you? Welcome in. Did I play D1? I did not. I played NAIA. I played NAIA, actually. Blink twice if Trey Croft's possible matchups rhymes with Neon. Yeah, the streamer, Neon the streamer is actually going to play Trey Croft. Frigga was the original embodiment. I still think Frigga is the gold standard for how a player should move in the 1v1 space. Because Frigga is I still think Frigga is a mastermind when it comes to content creation. And then he also happens to just be good at basketball. Whereas there's a lot of guys in the 1v1 scene that are only good at basketball, and that's it. So Frigga put his attribute points into content creation. So he's like a 98. He's like a 99 in content creation, and he's like an 80 in basketball. Whereas most of these other guys are like just an 85 in basketball, and that's it. No, let's turn Frigga into a cameraman. All right, we might do one. This video people been asking me to react to forever.
King, I'm Charlotte.
So we might get into it. And this will probably be my last game of the day. Book of Nas vid. I keep needing to get to that. All right, this week we've got a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do, so bear with me. What's up, gang? Hope you're doing well. I've been begged over and over to watch this game. Honestly, it's been months of begging from the chat and the Discord. This was the most electric and intense 1v1 game of the year. Cam versus Boog, all-time classic. Guys, this is not the game. This is the game.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
This is the game. All right, scratch that. This is the game you guys were asking me to watch for months and months. That other game just came out. This is the one. Go like, go subscribe. The basketball game for 5,000 will go down in history. Oh yeah, I gotta mute these intros. Yeah, this is I believe it's a tag team 1v1 to 100. Frigga the blueprint and put people on. I agree. I think Frigga is like the prototype of what you should try and be if you want to make it in the YouTube space. You stay pump faking. That's tomorrow. These are videos for tomorrow, okay? So we're actually we actually got through all the videos we needed to today. So this is a bonus video for you gremlins. Why you hezzy, yo? Yeah, I think I got copyrighted last time I had this intro on there. Man, I had to cut it out the video.
Welcome back to the next chapter. We have our 1-on-1 to 100 coming up. You guys have loved this idea. The last time we did this, we had somebody drop 85 points. Who knows if that record's going to be beaten today? But Devontae, you chose this lineup. You got Day, Tay, Trey, and BJ. Looks like a nasty lineup. How you feel about them while looking at the opponents?
Yeah, real confident. I mean, this is going to be a battle regardless. This is this video or this series or whatever is definitely going to be based off who can make a run, and I got guys in here that can definitely make that run. So
plug my camera in.
How much is on the line for this one?
There's $5,000 on this game, so 5K. This is the biggest prize money that we've done so far this season. This is a huge game. Your lineup over here, how do you guys feel? Right now, I'm looking at there's like a little bit of a height difference on your side, but how do you feel?
I mean, it's heart over height any day. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we have the momentum coming into this because we was 0-5 and then went 8-3 since then. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to keep building off the momentum, and I think my team, we locked in. We know what we're doing.
This series is 8-8 right now. It could come down to that final game between you guys.
What do you think Zay thinking right here? What do you think's going through Zay's head?
Rob and Scoob, who knows? But as
Zay over here thinking like, hey, I'm going to drive as hard as I can to the right, I'm going to shoot a little floater. Then you got Tay over here who's like, man, did I put socks on today? I can't remember if I put on socks. Let me check if I put on socks. Wait, where am I?
So right now, everybody understands the objective. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, go, and you're going to look, or you're not going to look. You're going to walk to your positions on where you're going to go. Whoever's in the front of the line is going first. Whoever's in the back is going last. Players stay on the court until they give up a 25th point. So you'll be eliminated on every 25th increment of the game. Okay, 3, 2, 1, reposition. Without. Well. Okay. I want you guys to turn around and look at your matchups in 3, 2, 1, go. So we are starting off, the very first game is going to be BJ versus Bruce. Whoever gets eliminated first, the next man's coming in, but you guys see the lineup, you guys see what the order is going to be. Subscribe to the next chapter, leave a like on this video. Chapter 2, Season 1, powered by John Bellion. This game is for $5K. On February 1st, there's a link in the description right now to purchase the...
All right. Y'all are going to hate me. Who is John Bellion? I heard about it. I was in Australia at this point in time, okay? Who's John Bellion?
first ever pay-per-view for TNC.
Music producer?
I keep saying it every single video. We need your support more than ever. We are trying to create the next lane of basketball. Who knows, in some time, we might be on the status of the NBA. We might be on the status of 1v1 basketball, similar to UFC. We're just trying to do something special for this community to make it live longer, for decades long, provide opportunities. It starts with you guys supporting us.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the next chapter. This is the start of day 3, chapter 2, season 1. And we have a 1v1 to 100. We got the ABC crew in the building. Sel, talk to him.
Today, we got BJ, Day-Day, we got Trey, and we have Tay. Tay, right?
Yes, Tay.
I believe Tay. Versus Malik, Zay, Vern, Bruce.
Lord have mercy. Mills, talk to me, man. Talk to me about the matchups.
I will say we might see some pay-per-view matchups today.
Yeah.
Potentially. So hopefully some of these matchups crisscross. We got Bruce and BJ playing first, but I want to see some rollovers so we can see some of the matchups that we really, really, really want to see.
There's only going to be 4 players. We have one more coming up after this, so the time.
Wrote and produced a lot of best-selling pop songs. Okay. I'll look him up after this.
Another 85-point performance. Another 85-point performance.
Listen, I'm not going to say what I want to say.
We're coming back to you. But what I want to say is this is an opportunity for Bruce to get his get back against one of the best players on the next chapter. So this is a great opportunity for him, and I think that's why they put him first. I want you to say what you were going to say.
If somebody breaks lat record right now, I might go streaking.
F it.
I said I might.
No,
He could have picked anything. He could have said shaved his head. He could have picked anything.
In this season, you got to do something crazy.
Yeah,
It's all men in that gym. And he picked streaking.
On the head only by itself.
Oh no, we need that brain intact. Bruce's last chance before he go overseas for a period of time, out of the space for a little bit.
Dang. LP versus A? Yeah, I will. We've got a lot of work to do this week. We'll get through a lot of games this week.
Long day.
Damn.
That was like a bobblehead over there.
Different matchup for Bruce. It's going to be different from playing Zay.
BJ really just let him walk into that, huh?
Oh, my gosh. BJ comes out strong.
In the car, I talked to BJ. He said if my 3-ball falls, I can break that record.
Lat, you might have some count.
And you know it.
Doing too much. DTM. Classic BJ.
Good bump there from Bruce. Good.
This is what I like to see from Bruce. We talk about it a lot, but just shooting that long 2 is so much different than full speed left, right? Get a little bump, get your hands free. I think he can make 7 out of 10 of these. He needs to just do that.
Starting off day 2.
Ugh.
It's an even matchup, man. They're about the exact same height, same size.
Yeah, BJ plays no defense at all. But offensively, I would hate to guard him.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Manny. You ain't hooping at all. You don't hoop. Be quiet. That's what it is.
Yeah, BJ talking to the sidelines. Oh, Bruce knocks down a three. Is that
BJ. I don't think I remember BJ's defense like this.
It might. Oh my gosh. It might be.
Oh. Five, we got five.
Bruce do be fouling a little bit.
the defense there?
You think that was good defense?
He kept him to one side there. You thought there was a little hands though?
Contact.
Sel thinks that's a foul?
Bruce,
That's good defense. I'm just saying that's clean. I know people. I'm starting to understand where the Bruce propaganda come from. He's had some games where he does like foul or whatever. This is clean. This is clean.
Bruce do be.
We just broke down the Frank Nitti versus School game. The same thing Frank Nitti doing.
One side there. You thought there was a little.
And Millie saying it was clean.
I'm looking from a college coach perspective. My bad. This is a whole different game. That's fair.
Bump there.
7-9.
This will
Damn.
be a good one. We win for good one, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God.
Big opportunity to get some get back for Bruce here. Up. One.
Ugh. BJ doesn't defend unless you force him to. I mean, but that's not being a good defender, is it?
Oh, he found it. Bruce is here.
Don't count him out just yet. Don't count him out.
So now he's comfortable.
I would say so.
And this is technically an actual 1v1.
Yeah.
The first matchup always
Ooh.
is.
Bruce, a 12-on-1 maybe?
Tell you what, man. If Bruce does beat BJ in this first segment, that makes Tay's wins even that better.
Yeah, it does. That's good.
Damn.
He's here today. He's not as handsy as he was the first 2 days.
Yeah, he actually giving BJ a lot of trouble.
Bruce downhill.
Why do you think BJ refuses to? I don't know.
BJ. Oh, good bump off the line.
He's making every shot tough.
Fade away, contested twos in the corner. Damn. Bad habits, yeah.
Oh my. Oh my.
Halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there is no halftime. Oh, God.
Ain't no timeouts either, brother.
Oh, ain't no saving you. Lord have mercy. Your timeout is when you get 25 put.
BJ in an actual 1v1 to 30, 20 to 20. What's the difference between this and an actual 1v1 to 30, though?
Focus on him. Focus on him.
He does play defense now. He did in that last 1v1 we watched.
I like this. Downhill spin move.
Oh,
No
damn.
foul call. You know what? I think the refs are setting the tone here, saying we're going to let you guys play a little bit today. Play through it.
Oh, that was Manny he was talking to. I was wondering who he was talking to.
I like the no call, but I would.
Do these matches count towards the record since Cell said the first matches are basically a 1v1? I mean, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, but again, this is kind of like what we just spoke about with Moon, right? Moon this weekend just went 2-0. So on the record, on Moon's record, all you're going to see is like he got 2 wins against like Inu and Dang, which on paper, they're not really like, they don't really move the needle. But when you think he actually got 2 wins back-to-back days, like flying, that's crazy. So a little bit, when you put the narrative spin on it, you're like, okay, those games are a little bit more impressive than just a normal randomly playing Inu, then randomly playing Dang later on, right? This is the same. I wouldn't put this on a record and be like, oh, Bruce beat BJ 25-9, but I would be like, I don't think you can just say Bruce is better than BJ. I mean, BJ's better than Bruce.
The line.
Sidestep. Off right.
Difficult.
He blocked that shot. Wow.
So confident in his offensive ability. I think it's that. It's sort of like Lat. Lat scoring his 85. I don't think you say Lat beat all of them 1v1, right? But him scoring 85 was the impressive part of that performance that doesn't go down on a record, but people will always know Lat's offensive ability is insane because of that game.
Oh, good pickup. Good pickup
Damn.
from Bruce.
Bruce frying him.
Standing now. I understand it now.
Good D.
He understands
Ain't
it
no
now.
good D. Yeah, it's more of a narrative. I wouldn't count it to. It's a statement. Yeah, I wouldn't count it towards records. If I were Bruce, though.
BJ, come back from.
Damn. Like if I win a game against somebody 25, is it to 25? Is that what they're playing to? If I get to 25 before you do, I'm gonna say I beat you. I beat you. Now on official rankings, again, I just don't think you count it. Golly. Bruce is actually just fighting to get to his spots, which he doesn't do as much. Like he's trying to get to the elbow, right? Like we always talk about. And now he's getting his hands free in that mid-range. Damn.
Lord have mercy, we got something on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Chat, talk to me, chat.
He understands it now. That's all that is. He just
Crew
had to
battle,
figure it
yeah.
out. He understands it now.
And they didn't even know they were playing each other until right before they checked up too. You know what I mean? This is different than a 1v1 game scheduled, to 30.
You gotta get a 25. It's 4 people.
25.
Oh! Get a 25. It's 4 people.
25.
Now he's shooting from half court. Golly, y'all got the best version of Bruce today. Best version of Bruce. Who is this?
You gotta get a 25. It's 4 people.
25.
Oh!
Bird? Look at Bird acting like he shot. What is Bird?
Oh! 25-0 run by Bruce. Are you shitting me right now? Jesus! Oh my Lord!
Oh my God! It's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day.
Today is a new day. There are no blue skies.
Damn.
Oh, we really loud. No. Go to the hook. Don't ever count my brother out. Don't ever.
But see what I mean? So exactly right here. So Federa just said, this really puts into perspective how insane Tay is. Maybe, but if this doesn't count towards, if Bruce doesn't get that same energy of like being that much better than BJ, you can't also use this game to talk about how good Tay is. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean, it doesn't go on the record, but it does carry some narrative weight.
Count my fucking brother out.
Bruce might drop 50 today. He might drop 50.
Welcome to TNC, Bruce. It's about time. He's here. 27-9, 27-0 run.
Oh, that's insane.
Run, A. Millie.
Yeah, he's on fire.
That is phenomenal. 9-0 to 25-9. Are you serious?
Yeah, this is how you got introduced to YouTube basketball. This season was crazy. This had some of the craziest all-time games.
We got another one, TNC family. Hit the like button, please.
Off right.
Damn.
No, Federa, I'm just saying whatever weight that it holds, Bruce versus BJ, I think it has to hold that same weight when you reference this towards other games too.
Shimmy.
This is also.
I think Tay beating Bruce twice just says enough itself. You know what I mean? You don't have to find more reasons to make it impressive. I think Tay beating Bruce was already says what it needs to.
Be something for the fans to gravitate towards.
Oh.
Let me tell you something, B. Great defense by Day. But Bruce has 50 on his mind. This is not enough yet. He's not done. What a scoop layup with the left by Day Day.
I want to say this, fellas. Although BJ lost, he's still engaged in this game. Respect to that.
Man, Day Day's 3 ball is his kryptonite.
Wins and losses the same.
And then Day Day doing the same thing. What's he doing? Bruce has already scored 27 points. And he's like, I'll just play with a hand down. Catch and shoot 3.
Oh,
Damn.
man, somebody's comfy Tempur-Pedic mattress.
Yeah, we just talked about our top 5 rankings, Azon. Oh my gosh. We just talked about our top 5.
30-2 run, ladies and gentlemen. This is something special.
The originator of TNC Chapter 9mm. I knew it. I knew OTD left its mark on TNC. Once I saw Chapter 9mm, I knew it. Nas playing help side. We haven't talked about that yet, Dream Chasing. After this season, people realize those deep shots aren't that deep for everybody. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Day Day's getting away with a couple more too, though.
Or Trey.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Oh. This whole move right here.
Trey.
0.5 seconds of freedom. Full speed right.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
And then counters again when he probably didn't need to. But
L1. I see you, Day Day.
One thing, this is like just an efficiency thing. I would never say like, oh, this is a bad drive, but you should be thinking less time setting up, right? When you get your 0.5 seconds of freedom, when you watch these, even Jonte Porter did this a couple times yesterday, but you watch Nas, you watch Zay, you watch other players that do these counters, and they just change direction straight away. Day Day stops, which this is a good move if you can shoot. If you can shoot, if you're a high-level shooter, it's good to get on balance because now Bruce has to close that gap. But Day Day's stopping. Look, he's on balance, and then he has to get his feet set to drive. Gives Bruce enough time to turn and go challenge this angle. Ideally, Day Day just crosses back to the middle, and it should be a layup. So when you're playing against really good defenders, that little extra one step that you took is all the difference in having to make this layup now, which, let's see. Yeah, I thought he traveled, but that's a tough layup. Damn.
L1.
I think he could have just had a layup at the backboard. Wait, we can do that? Whoever in the chat told you to watch this game, God bless them.
Day, right slot.
Oh, sheesh.
Can't buy one.
It's not dropping today.
At him.
Oh, nice.
And so the difference of Bruce taking these long twos now is he's probably tired, right? Now, if you can just get your hands free for a shot, and also because he's feeling good, anytime you can get your hands free, it's probably a good shot. So I just don't like when Bruce settles for these early in a game. But later on, like now that you've gone to the basket, you've gotten to the key, you shot these threes, now Day Day is actually honoring those, but now you're just getting your hands free and shooting. But when he settles for those early on, I think that really hurts his game.
Just textbook.
Great hand.
Day only needs 11 points here. Team walk down general.
The shots he gets are so high percentage.
Oh, he got him dancing and prancing.
Oh my gosh. Bruce, what the hell?
Dancing and prancing. Oh, he got him dancing. Oh, he got him. He's nay-nay. He's nay-nay. Oh.
Bro, how did I never see this game?
Oh, Bruce, wake up, brother. Yeah, he got that look. He got that look right now, Grayson. Oh.
Have you watched the movie Candyman?
No.
You haven't watched it?
haven't seen
Okay,
it.
I can't. What I say ain't gonna make sense then. I mean, because my
Don't say it because I know the movie, please. Oh my God. Oh, he is.
Yo, you sure you
Say it because I know the movie.
See, so because Bruce has been shooting, right? This is that 0.5 seconds of freedom for Bruce now. Look how it looks different than he didn't even really cross him, but he's got enough 0.5 seconds of freedom. So Day-Day's got to at least close that gap because Bruce can shoot this three. So Day-Day closes the gap. And then as he's closing the gap, Bruce goes to the basket. So Day-Day being quicker and more athletic, he kind of is a little bit lazier with his footwork. Bruce was really, really smooth with his footwork and everything and efficient.
Oh, he is.
Damn.
you sure you haven't watched the movie Candyman?
I've seen it.
You say his name enough. And he put... Boy, that was gonna be perfect timing.
Oh, man, race to 11 right now. Nice.
Good drive. There we go. Downhill Day-Day, as we know.
Like the aggression there by Day-Day.
Go again. Go again.
Give you the midi.
Thinking too much. Yeah, get to it. As soon as he drops his hand, you shoot it. This is where Day-Day's got to improve. Again, we saw this because he did this a little bit in the last game, against Nico. Luckily, he is way more downhill than he used to be. But the game just before, who did Day-Day play just before Nico? And we were watching. And it's just get downhill. Bruce's hand isn't up. You just get to a spot and pull up. You got to put Bruce on his back heels. He's just waiting. He's not honoring your shot. So you got to make him worried about your shot. He just never honored it. But you got to get there and shoot with confidence. So the next time you get there, Bruce like, no. And then you blow by for a layup.
That percentage shot, like, you don't.
Shadell, that's right. Yep.
So I understand.
I don't mind that shot. Step into it.
Bruce needs 11 to knock Day-Day off. Day-Day needs 7.
The second highest scoring game is Day-Day with 52. Bruce has that in reach right now.
Good D there.
Good defense.
See if Day-Day can string along some buckets.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Cheese.
Get his sub going here. Oh, man, Bruce is up high. Exactly. Just letting him push him out.
Oh.
It's a transition drill. I love that. I don't know why more people don't do that.
That's what you describe A1.
Good look. I like the decisiveness.
There,
I don't mind it.
but damn.
But he could, for a full game, just get downhill, I think.
I'm going to go right back to getting that half and get 4 dribbles downhill. Ooh, pull the chair.
Good defense.
Phenomenal defense.
That was great defense.
Pulled the chair and poked it away.
Nah, he doesn't extend his shooting arm. But some people don't. Not everyone does.
Bruce gets going, it could get spooky again. Continue to get stops if you're Day-Day.
Is Tricky still in here? I'm not sure.
Defense.
Oh, excellent defense.
Great defense.
Oh, excellent defense.
Oh, and he makes it.
He got a little.
So this is one of those things, when you see their back shoulder, I always say this, right? Push them. When they reach, so Bruce pockets the ball and see how Day-Day is trying to reach in there, push him. And then Day-Day reaches again. Bruce, because he didn't get his arm around him, push him again. Gets his hands free. That's crazy.
Excellent defense.
Oh, and he makes it.
He got a little bit of space on the last.
That could be it, Federa. Typically, you can't just call why someone's inconsistent. Utilize pulling the chair more. They've started to a lot more. Moon does it. Day obviously. Day-Day's jump pump fake is just one of those weird ones. It's weird when you're on the court. It's weird looking watching on camera. It doesn't look like you should fall for it, but when you're in person, people that do that kind of shot fake, I don't know, it lulls you to sleep, and then you end up biting on it for no reason.
I got it.
So this is what I mean with the decision making. Look at Bruce. He's just running backwards. He's doing the same thing. And now Day with Bruce not putting his hand up, instead of shooting this time, he's like, maybe I'll drive. And it's like, what was the difference in that decision between last time you shot it, you faked twice and then shot. This time you're faking twice and then you go. You should know, if I go here and his hand is down, I'm shooting it because I know I can make 8 out of 10. If I go here and his hand is up, now I got to make a decision. I can hesitate and go, or I can just get to that spot and rise up over the top anyways. Then if he's up like this, now I know the answer is to just go. So it's like you got to have clear decisions so that you can react quicker and whenever those things happen. Hand down, you shoot it.
I know BL's like that.
Oh, that's about 8.5. Bigger defender, outside block there.
Right.
Tough.
Damn.
More.
Use a burner. I mean, we can talk about that afterwards, why they don't cross over. We can talk about that after.
Damn.
But again, because he's hesitate, Bruce is just going backwards every time. Just shoot it. Shoot it. Instead, it's like you're going into him already.
I think he elbowed that ball.
So who's the next person for Team Nas?
I believe it's Vern. Okay. And then it goes Say, then Malik.
Here we go.
Exactly. Bruce is tired. You got to attack every play because even if you get beat, at least you tire him out for the next person. Shoot.
Can he get to 50?
I think it's over right here. If I'm Day-Day, I get the ball at half and I go.
There it goes, Sel. Game time. And one.
The off arm, I do want to say, the off arm was there for Day-Day. There was an argument to be made for an offensive foul there.
Yes.
The off arm extended.
Let's do this real quick while we're in a transition. Let's give it
What's
going on? Who's that from?
Peak dot.
Oh, wait, what?
Merch? You got merch on, Millie?
Yeah, I got merch on.
What's going on? Who's that from?
TNC.
Oh, wait.
It doesn't count. He dunked it, but it didn't count. It didn't count. It didn't count.
I thought we missed the best.
No.
I thought
That sounded like a.
that sounded like a bomb.
Yeah, he just got to make his
say-
mind up. Again, I know this is an older video, so I'm not trying to dunk on Day-Day here.
Basically for Day-Day? Oh, no, I'm tripping. He has to get the 50. My bad. I'm sorry.
Day-Day has 18
Yeah.
points right now.
Vern is trying to.
No, I'm
Damn.
tripping. He has to
I forgot about Vern. Vern is another one of our straight line drive advocates here.
get the 50. My bad. I'm sorry.
Day-Day
Full speed right, full speed
has
left.
18
Yeah.
points right now.
Vern is trying to get to 50.
But Vern needs 9 points to get Day-Day off.
Yes.
And Day-Day needs 23 to get Vern off.
Oh, my. Okay.
41.
I don't know. Vern about to get him out of here. There's no way. Vern got that whip. Let's get it. There we go. There it is. Vern got whip. Yeah. Vern fed.
Vern's not happy about his losses.
Oh, look, his interview was like 2 seconds. I hate it. Stop talking to me. Let's go.
Damn. Yeah, it was aggressive in there.
I walked by him today and he said, Millie, the only reason I lost yesterday was because I was missing my nigga. That'll never happen again.
On me. Don't touch it.
Damn.
We are now just 7 days away.
I mean, I guess this announcement ain't for us, is it?
Big Bruce, man.
Oh,
Does he pull up?
hot right now. Rematch.
Bruce, man.
Oh, we got it.
Damn. It really was OTD that tainted TNC's image. I'm seeing it now.
It's hot right now. Rematch.
Yeah, we watched the Trey Croft game.
Early.
Versus Vern.
Oh, Vern wants his get back.
Oh, he's not playing today. That's Baby John Morant. Quit playing.
Left wing shenanigans from Vern.
Vern overseas. He's coming back too.
Oh my gosh.
Step back, deep corner.
Yeah, this game is
I'm gonna
great.
say this. Trey needs 23 points. Vern needs to get 75. He needs 21. It's very possible that Vern could break 52 at this rate.
There's so many variables in this.
Let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, Vern got on the court at 41, so Vern has 13 going on 14.
Third day in a row, these two are playing one-on-one.
Oh, 1 for 2. He got 15. Oh my God.
Oh, I watched the first game.
Ooh.
Hello.
It's to the Baja, no matter what you do.
Bro, Vern and Bruce, what were they on?
Vern is over there popping it with Freegan and them right now. I love it.
High too on Trey. He's not letting him get no breathing room. You gotta get a hand here. It's coming. It's on the way.
Good drive.
Drop to all of us, please.
I appreciate that. That's love. Let's not forget, you guys have the power while watching this game to vote in your 2 favorite players to match up in the pay-per-view on February 1st. You have all the power. It's in your hands.
Oh, Trey just be finishing shots, man. Is it this situation when people referring to OTD cooking everyone? It's probably a narrative piece to it, yeah. I think there was like a couple games that really stood out.
Vern got quiet all of a sudden.
Ugh.
He told me he wasn't missing that today.
And again, the reason his pull-up works, like everyone does these step backs or thinks you need to create space, but it's like, nah, go full speed. And as you're driving, they got to take away the layup and you get into your pull-up. This is like that Michael Jordan stuff we were breaking down the other day. Just like you get into your pull-up quicker than they can recover and challenge.
He told me he wasn't missing that today.
This in the pay-per-view? Oh, yeah. That was Frigga and Oz and all them, right? Damn. 60-31. And that just looks bad. So you could, again, fans, you see 60-31, you could say whatever you want.
And Trey needs 19 to not burn out.
I'm about to say, he makes that, he's really going to.
Is that? I need to go back and watch the Frigga versus Nas game.
Trey's allowing him to shoot, but Vern's like, nah, I'm shooting the midi instead.
I want to ask you guys a question. Just because I can't shoot a 3, but I could really make the mid-range at a high level, can I shoot or not?
That's that again. I was watching.
If I can shoot the midi at a high level, but I can't shoot 3s, can I shoot?
You can score.
I can score. Okay.
Like
Big guard you real quick.
You can score. There it is.
Oh.
Golly.
I think that's his first 3 in all 3 1v1s that they played.
It is, I believe.
If he makes that consistently, bro, he might be like, I mean, in that weight class, whoa. Unguarded. Oh!
Yeah, Trey's coming back too.
Maybe not as shifty as the other downhill players that are, guards, but he gets there probably the best.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Me. Like, me. Yeah, it's quick. It's fast.
Oh my
Bro,
dog.
if you didn't know any better, again, I know they've played each other multiple times, but if you didn't know any better, you'd think Trey just cannot hang with Vern at all watching this.
Vern needs 7.
Oh,
to get off Trey.
Like he's got nothing for him. I don't know if he's injured or sore or tired or what, but he's got no answer.
He now has
What do you got, Sal?
29 points. He came in at 41.
Shut the fuck up. Don't be say anything to you. I didn't say
He got to shoot the 3. You got to shoot the 3.
Oh, he tried to put him on the
Random
bench
royalty.
right there with that
Thanks
one.
for subscribing.
Wow.
Yeah, he's struggling,
Wins
man.
this right here, that would literally be 25 to 4.
Jonathan Simmons versus Nas. I don't mind it.
Who's next for Team Frigga?
I don't think it moves the needle forward at all, though.
Okay.
Oh my God, he said I can't shoot.
Oh man, don't stray away though.
He's not.
Don't stray away.
2 misses.
Yeah.
He's back to
Don't stray away. Trey could get going here if you do.
Trey for Trey.
That's how the game
Vern
of
versus
basketball
Frigga?
works.
Actually, the more I think about this, I think Trey is just they're behind by so much that he's just like, I just got to hit threes. Maybe that's what it is.
Hey, double
Ugh.
cross. That's all 4 dribbles. Step through. 74.
And again, now he's got this because he's going full speed right. And last time he did a pull up. This time Trey trying to guard the pull up. Now he gets the step through. Damn.
Man, Vern. Just textbook movement, textbook footwork. Chapter 9.
Crucial in 1v1, triple threat. Having a good triple threat is more important than anything.
Come on, man. Come on, bro.
Good decision there. Knocks down a 3 ball. Cuts the lead down to 40 or 37. Chris Paul, where are you?
Wow.
Got a random wow from Sale. Foul. Good,
Oh my
good
God.
call and great make. And with that, Isote checks into the game for Team Frigga. Vern displayed a bag.
Vern needs 25 to 23. Tay needs
What he needs? 60.
18.
Tay's looking to finish his case for the pay-per-view right here. Great performance here. Wow. Lightning fast.
Bro, what am I watching? What is happening? I was about to say Tay and Vern. Tay's still worried about his socks. What's Vern's superpower? I mean, he's super quick.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Tay needs 13.
And his mid-range is insane.
My bad.
Vern gets that ball up quick like Tony Parker.
And he shoots the midi above his head along with elevating. So stopping on a dime to that elevation, you're not blocking that most of the time.
See, Tay use that size a little bit. He's gonna
Tay
have
will
to.
be a tough matchup for Vern here. That's a good start.
10
Yeah.
more for Tay.
Got a
That
call
is a good
Tay
start.
coming in, trying to knock Vern off.
Ball of
The trade
Tay.
ball's there.
Overthinking it. That's what I mean. If I'm on defense, again, this is a It's a little tip for you guys. If you're on defense and your hand is down and you're guarding someone and they do this, don't fall for their pump fakes ever. This is someone to me who's not confident in their shot. That's to me, I'm like, if you guard, imagine you guard who in the space? Imagine you guard Frigga like this. He just shoots, right? Imagine you guard any high-level shooter like this. They're just going to shoot it every time because they know they can make 8 out of 10, right? And not have to move. It's the easiest shot. But when you guard someone like this and they start hesitating, just be like, yep, he's not an elite shooter.
So Tay dropped back there and then try to heavily contest on the midi. Kind of try to time his midi almost.
Try to bait him into it.
That's kind of the game plan, it looks like.
Oh, shit. TNC players racking up wins outside recently? Like who? What TNC players outside racking up wins?
Tay's trying to warm up here. Let me ask you guys a question. Just because he's down by this big of a margin, should he change his game and shoot all threes? I think he should just continue to do.
Golly.
You got to play your game. Play your game. A lot of game left.
Yeah.
Don't try to hit home runs here. You want singles.
Yeah.
Singles add up.
Brother, it's 85-40.
Tay has to get him off. This is going to be – scoring records are being broken.
Vern versus Boog, yeah. I'll get to that one, Sammy, for sure.
He needs 15. Tay needs 10.
We got a lot to do this week first, though. Tomorrow's going to be another big day. Open threes? Open threes, I probably make 50%, but I didn't get a lot of open threes.
About to get beat like Jason Tatum up in here. Oh,
damn.
Might be a charge. Yes, good call.
Yeah, Tay, again, Tay's already in his own head, but now he's got the height difference, and he's like, oh, I got to drive to the basket, but then he's giving me the open three, and it's like, but you're still a guard. You're still a guard. If he backs off, you knock down the three. If he gets up close, then you drive around him. He's just like, again, a lot of people, especially guards, aren't used to playing against smaller players or a mismatch. So then they start overthinking. But it's like basketball's still basketball. Nothing changes.
Seems
Cam versus Boog. Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow.
to 100 victory. We have another one coming up after this.
How did OTD get all this talent?
Great defense.
I don't know. I mean, they're just playing games. They're just playing lots of games, and they're playing lots of meaningful matchups. So I think some of the players just happen to get better because they're playing against better players all the time. Whereas I think TNC was more build up matchups, like be smart about how you play the game or get the games and all that sort of stuff. And so it leaves a lot of matchups on the table. Because I actually think talent-wise on paper, they're very similar. TNC, OTD, Ball is Life, I think they're all similar. I think the difference with OTD at the moment is they just play more meaningful games. So they're ready to play when it comes time for like a big matchup. Damn.
That was his last shot. He's downhill next time. You got to go controlled. Don't get a charge. Use your size.
I want Tay to stay in his shot. He shoots and walks away. Just stay and hold it. Hold the follow through. Show the form.
Starting to make it really difficult on Vern. Tay's kind of figuring it out.
There it is, Mills.
There we go. Yep.
Oh, man.
Now every layup is tough too, though, just because you're already overthinking everything. I talked about this yesterday. Those layups are tough in one-on-one because in a 5-on-5 game, the obvious answer is to drive downhill because you shoot a layup, and if you miss, you just tip it in. But in one-on-one, you don't get to jump in and tip the ball in. Yeah, I think so, Federa. I think I don't know. I don't want to speak for. I'd rather have like Scotty or Frigga or someone. But again, I do think the reason OTD gets viewed as like oh, it's a better player playing better games. It's like, no, this is play more games. Oh, my stream just cut off too.
Because he's so talented and putting it on the floor and whatnot.
I agree.
Oh, that's just filth. What it is,
That's
it's
crazy.
just sewage.
Just full of.
You got it. Finish it. Go ahead.
So I don't know why my stream just froze, but we still here.
Putting it on the floor and whatnot.
I agree.
Oh, that's just filth. What it is, it's a sewage.
Just full of.
You got it. Finish it. Go ahead.
Give credit to TNC for finding players. Like a lot of the top guys came after this vid. Again, we've spoken about this in a video before. We spoke about this in a video before, but can you guys hear me? I don't know what my stream is doing. But yeah, we spoke about this in a video before. I don't know if that narrative is exactly true, that TNC finds new talent while OTD and Ball is Life just steal their players. A lot of people say that, but every time I ask for an example, no one gives me a good example.
Escape dribble. Got it.
That's the best making basket.
I think all three platforms do a good job of finding talent. I think TNC probably just does more different types of play styles than the other two platforms, mainly. Ball is Life does more team games. Vern just fries everyone. What is happening?
It's who's gonna get to 50. We didn't expect that anybody to get
And
to
then
50.
OTD does more meaningful 1v1 matchups.
My bad. 50, 50, 50, 50. That's 50. He has 50.
Yeah, we good? Okay.
3 breaks the record for number 2.
Oh my.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vern has entered the flow state.
He's officially tied Day-Day for the second most in TNC history with that shot, with 52.
He's number 2 all time TNC with 54.
Aside from Latin has 85.
Number 2.
Number 2.
I said number 2 all
So
time.
he's officially number 2.
He's officially number 2 all time.
Golly.
How many does he have?
54.
54.
He's officially number 2 all time. He has set another TNC record. Or he has surpassed number 2 on the all-time record for points scored. This is phenomenal.
Finish the game, though, Vern. That'll be epic. Finish the game.
Absolutely not.
Tay has scored 3 points.
It's 97 to 40.
Had great looks at it.
Vern has 56. Damn.
Tay's got to do this. Tay's got to go back to that.
Vern
again.
was off of ibuprofen.
Controlled, though. You don't want to get a charge. There it is.
He set the table.
Now,
He has
we'll revisit this conversation
right
after this
now.
game.
Strong take.
What was he waiting on?
But think in your brain. I want you guys to think about it while this game is finishing. Think of all the players you can think of that OTD and Ball is Life stole from TNC.
Millie. Oh my. He's gonna jab hard, take it. Just jab hard and take it. Go ahead. Jab.
Tay's up.
Got it. He got it, fellas. He got it.
Fellas, you know how much points that is? No.
What is it?
59.
59.
Because he walked in at 41. 59. He eliminated Day-Day, Trey, ISO Tay.
Bruce had 41. Vern walks in 59. We didn't even see Zay. They didn't even need the closing pitcher.
You didn't even need him. Team Nas takes the 1v1, the first 1v1 to 100, 100 to 48. They are up 9 to 8 in the overall score in Chapter 2, Season 1.
We have witnessed history again.
That's crazy. That's insane. Let me know what you guys thought of that game. This whole season, all the games I've seen from this season have been wild. We got to somehow find a way to get these types of games or matchups to happen again. This is crazy. Like something crazy has happened almost every game we've watched in this. This is crazy. Let me know what you guys thought. All right. Did I ever have a serious injury? Yeah, I broke my nose, broken fingers, things like that, but never anything that kept me out for too long. Yeah, so someone mentioned earlier, not sure where the comment is, but Peter, I think we need to give credit to TNC for finding players. Like a lot of their top guys came after this vid, while pretty much all of top OTD guys are here. Yes, we should give credit to TNC for finding new players. But again, I spoke about this in that video a few days ago, last week or something. But when you say things like that, we got to give TNC credit for finding new players. Meanwhile, OTD's players are here on TNC. That's like saying OTD shouldn't get credit for finding new players, or Ballers Life shouldn't get credit for finding new players. I don't think that narrative is as prominent as what people make it out to be. So let's say Nas, for example. Nas is TNC. Would we say Nas is TNC, or that TNC discovered Nas? If that's the case, that's one. But what is Moon? Like, what is Moon? What would you guys consider Moon? Is he TNC or is he Z League? Like, Nesco over on OTD, you guys can say TNC got him first, but he was June's League, right? So do we only count when they were on TNC? Do we count when they were on a smaller platform first? Do we count where they are currently? What's next on the agenda? We probably won't have another game today because it's about to be 3 o'clock, but we'll do more. We've got a bunch of games stacked up for tomorrow. Vern versus Left Hand Dom. It just makes sense. I will watch it. Like I said, I've got 5 videos that I've got to watch tomorrow, though. Zay didn't even play. Yeah, that's crazy. So many players after that video we just watched. But OTD wasn't really a thing before then, right? Sound? Is the sound not working? Maybe you have to refresh or something. Is the sound not working for you guys? Vern and Bruce popped the ibuprofen. Moon also TNC now. LP 3v3. Scar a free agent. Yeah, I think there's some play like Fombi, I would say, is someone who just plays on every platform. Scar plays on every platform. Nesco's the Moon, like some of those guys just play on every platform. Independent contractors. Do you have a top 5 in terms of talent and skill? No, but I should do a video on that. I should do one. Sound is fine? Okay. When Slim brought them on his channel, was Slim TNC or was Slim before TNC? Can we talk about the TNC OTD Ball is Life thing now? Oh, why don't they collab? Yeah, so a lot of it is the politics. Obviously, there's tension between like Ball is Life and TNC. And I think that makes it difficult when Ball is Life works with OTD. It makes it really difficult to put an event together because like TNC, Ball is Life don't really work together or want to work together. I also think all 3 platforms have a different vision for what they want the one-on-one space to be. Again, we talk about this a lot. So sometimes it just doesn't make sense to always do an event where all three have to do the same thing and be on the same page because they all have different goals for the space. So I think it's as simple as that. 19 fouls by John Wick is insane. It's just not a productive conversation to credit a platform for finding talent. That is their job to stay. Yeah, all three platforms find new talent. Like look at OTD and they've got the Keems and the Doolies and the Doms and there's so many more players coming through from OTD, Tariqs and stuff like that. But then you look at Ball is Life and they've got the Bijan and Dang and like everyone's finding talent. You have to do it to keep going. I just don't put too much stock into where a player started. I've said this before, but if my first ever paid job, I was like 16. I worked at Sonic Drive-In, which is a fast food restaurant. If Sonic Drive-In ever said like, oh, you're actually a Sonic Drive-In, you're actually a Sonic Drive-In employee. You're not a real pro basketball player. You're not a real YouTuber. You're a Sonic Drive-In employee. I'm like, what? I used to be, but now I'm here because it's better. Like I can't always go credit Sonic Drive-In, right? It just doesn't make sense. Cam vs. Book. No, we're watching those tomorrow. Slim was Wild Hunt. See, I don't even know. Was Wild Hunt not TNC? Tension was between OTD and TNC and Ball is Life. No, I think it's Ball is Life and TNC was the original fallout. And then I think just politics kind of lingered throughout. And now the tension, I think there's tension now with OTD, TNC, but mainly individual. I think like it's individuals. I don't think it's like the platform. Like the players don't care. You know what I mean? Finding talent prevents the space from being stagnant. Scotty worked at Ball is Life. So there's no beef with Scotty and Dev. I don't know. I think there's a lot of personal beefs, but then there's a lot of just like stuff that's probably just gone unresolved for so long that it's turned into beef when it's really not. Scotty Davo. I think there's personal stuff there, but yeah, A Mills was on Ball is Life. I got discovered from park runs and open gym runs. Yeah, was that during COVID, Tricky? Kitchen or skates? Kitchen, never the skates. Fans want all the games. Do you reckon we need to recognize one platform as the main center or stay with the big three? I think big three is fine. I think until we don't even know what the one-on-one space is going to be like in a year. I think it still needs, so many things need to be worked out. Player payments. What should players be paid is a big one. How many games should players be playing a year? What type of games are the most important? Team games, 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s. Should they do different pay-per-views? We were talking about that earlier. How many pay-per-views should they be doing? How much should they be charging? All that stuff is going to get worked out over the next year. And once that happens and all three platforms are maybe more similar, it will make sense and easier for them to do like one-off events together. But until that time, I think all three platforms have to do their own thing and kind of forge different paths for us to see what's possible and what works. Scotty was the reason Slim started Wild Hunt. Who do you think helped him? Scotty did? Yeah, forget Slim and his agency. Scotty did it. Did you see the OTD post with Mikey? I did. I commented on it. Platforms have to work together. Players are showing us they can make it happen. Yeah, there should be like a players union or something where the players just kind of act independently of the platforms. Seeing the players play against each other, but I think that last hurdle needs to be leapt over for 1v1s. Maybe, maybe not. Like I said, I think it's going to work itself out over the next year. Wild Hunt was before TNC. Yeah, I think that's why it was so popular though, Tricky, because of COVID. People were actually outside. Ball is Life and Scotty was original Fallouts. Okay, so Wild Hunt was Slim, then TNC was Frigga. Wild Hunt was like a park team who played with Frigga fam and stuff. Yeah, I need to dive into exactly all that. I think I watched that A Millie video, and that helped me understand it a little bit better. You got discovered by Elon Musk. Park takeovers on Slim's channel. Ball is Life was where the first ones. Of course, they found the first batch of talents. make a league cross platforms. I don't think that'll happen. What would you classify as a clutch period in a 1v1? Last 5 points. I'd probably say like last 5 points. It should just be the belts getting prepped by all three and a rep defending it. Yeah, I'd say last 5 points, Gio, because then you could talk about like percentage, turnovers, blocks, steals, all the stats in a last 5. Yeah, belts could be a good way to do cross-platform stuff without the platforms actually having to really do stuff together. Ball is Life was the OG. Again, I don't know. Once we start, I did a video on this too, like who started everything? Where's the original? You could make a narrative for whoever you want to be the original. There's a video with Scotty and Slim talking about starting Wild Hunt together. How many videos you got left to watch? None today because it's already 3 o'clock. And my brain's kind of fried because we went through the 2 events and just now did a game to 100. Players Union might get going 10 years later. Facts. That'll be the last thing to get solved. Coach had skates on. Skates in the kitchen. Coach is fried. I am. This was because I feel like I was working yesterday too, taking notes and watching all these 1v1s and stuff. Superstars, so players in the top 5 should play about 3-5 once a year. 5 to 10 should be like 5 to 7. I think most players should play around 10 games at least. I think the top 5 can be far more selective, like every other month or something. But yeah, I think most other players should be around 10 plus games. I said 12, I think, for me. I think 12 is the number I think everyone should aim for. Been live since I was at work today. I got up at 3:30 my time. Let's go. Yeah, so we got through, I think we did like 4 videos today. Yeah, we got 4 videos done today. So I think that was good. Tomorrow, let's quickly have a look tomorrow. So tomorrow, some of the games, we've got the, we'll delete this because we just watched it. So we've got Cam versus Boog. We've got Ryan versus Scar, Judgment Day. We've got the 2 Ball is Life Battlegrounds. And then we've also got Zay versus LP, which I don't have on here, but I'll write it. Judgment Day. So we've got 5 videos to get through tomorrow, and they're all really good games. And then there's going to be more games that come out today. So we've got a ton of videos to get through today, tomorrow and Wednesday. So the next 2 days are going to be packed with tons of breakdowns. Verse 1 Federation. Yeah, that's the conclusion we came up with. Verse 1 Federation, but then just like individual creators like Dre Baldwin, stuff like that. What site is this? Oh, I use Notion. Notion is my note-taking app. Don't mind watching LP die again. All right, well, guys, this has been a really good stream. Jump in the Discord if you guys have anything to share or add or anything. Conversation was a good one for sure. Appreciate you. Notion, absolute go. Yeah, it's super good. I've got tons of just notes and things to keep organized. So yeah, this works really well for me and keeps my thoughts from getting trapped in a bottle. But yeah, my dogs are barking, so I'm going to figure out what they're barking at, and I'll see you guys later. You guys take care.